it look close. SRGOG, your heart is pumping when you watch them play.
SRGOG are facing now possibly their biggest hurdle yet. Because last year, they got the whole, oh, we're undefeated for 120 days. Oh, we're unbeatable in scrims. Everybody was looking up to SRGOG. But now, SRGOG, they even have to remind people that they're champions, that they're the defending MSC champions. All this while, Liquid's found a new way to play. Not just a Liquid Stampede, but a Stompede.
I would say, though, SRG does well in the face of adversity, right? Because even last year, though they were on that streak, there was still a lot of doubt on them. There was still a lot of, Malaysia gets hyped up all the time. They never make it. But in the face of that doubt, they still accomplished. Even after going all 5 games against Aurora last year, almost getting knocked out of knockout stage, they were still able to do their thing. And I think, I have my eyes on them for this grand finals.
But now, while we're on the topic, we actually was able to catch the one man that can change Destroyer's mind when it comes to Arlit. We were able to talk to Sanford, so let's see how he's doing before we start our grand finals.
And we're now here with 40 Sanford from TLPH. Sanford, pulse check. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling good and I'm really excited to play.
Really excited to play. This is the grand finals. You are one step closer to putting your key into the totem. How is everyone doing right now? Are they also as confident as you?
Yeah, they can't even sleep yesterday because they're really excited to play now. And yeah, that's it. We just
Okay.
play.
So they couldn't sleep last night? Okay. It was really hard to sleep last night because they were all really excited coming into this match. Now, for you personally, Sanford, this is yet another MSC, an opportunity to get that trophy because so far it has eluded you. MSC 2023, you weren't able to take it. MSC 2024, you were also unable to take it. What is different this time around for you?
Well, for me personally, I already broke the curse, so I'm really happy to break that. And also, we just want to enjoy the series. No
Wait,
pressure. Yeah.
What curse? What curse?
The semifinals curse, we always, because this is my 3rd time that being in the semifinals. Oh, yesterday being the semifinals. So, yeah, we already broke the curse, yeah.
Okay, the semifinals curse. If you could lift that trophy today, what would that victory mean to you?
Well, it would mean a lot since this is the only international title that we don't have, like 5 of us. So we really wanted to get this win for also like putting GOAT name in Carl Tizzy's name.
Gold into Carl Tizzy's name. It's going to be gold in your name as well, Sanford?
I hope so, yeah.
Okay. So Arcadia wants to find revenge against SRG. What do you think is the key takeaway that you guys have over SRG today?
Well, I think it's all about the draft, and also like I also need to win my matchup against Cram because in this kind of meta, XP lane matchup is the really important one.
Okay, speaking of Cram in the EXP lane, you're going head to head. People are calling you the Apex Predator, and it's not for zero reason. People are thinking that you are the #1 EXP laner right now. So what message do you have over Cram? And do you also agree that you're better in the EXP lane than Cram?
Well, let's see later, but I don't want to hit things up. So, yeah, may the best team wins and good luck. Have fun.
All right. Good luck for the grand finals, 40. We're throwing it back to the studio.
Thank you very much, Eterna, as well as Sanford. And now, after that interview, this is the MSC 2025 final boss. Because all throughout their journey here, they only lost 2 games, no series drop, and both only to Onyx Indonesia. Now, I gotta ask you, Brigitte, now that they have broken the curse, they got all the way to the grand finals. From your perspective, how does they mentally, how do they feel going into these grand finals?
I think even Carl already mentioned it previously in one of the interviews he had that they feel absolutely no pressure at all heading into the grand finals. And I feel like a huge part of that is the way that, especially in this year's MSC, I feel like they don't consider anyone to be particularly their quote-unquote rivals, because in the previous times that they again failed, especially in the semifinals last year, it was up against their rivals in the entire Titans of MLBB. So now that they've gotten the pressure out of their way and that they've been performing phenomenally in the previous games that they've played so far, although you could say they played the least games or one of the teams who play the least games here in MSC, they just seem to be so much confident prior to this grand final.
Isn't that the way to take down the Giants? You know, strip away the fact that they're the defending champions, strip away the fact that they've owned MPL MY for the better part of the past year and a half, and look at them as just, well, it's hard. Again, they have names, they have faces, they have stories, they're very talented, but what Liquid is doing is saying, you know what, you're just standing in the way of our MSC title, but also your SRGOG.
Yep, now we're looking at Cram, Sky, Stormy, Humes, and Innocent. I want to talk about my boy Stormy, but since Sanford did say the EXP matchup is so important, I got to ask you, Trex, looking at Cram's performance, do you feel like he has a chance going up against Sanford where, again, he makes the Arla look so good?
Normally, I would say no one has a chance against 40 the Kid, but Cram, watching him play the CC the other day, watching the way he's able to move with his team, I think Cram is definitely going to be able to match up against Sanford in that lane, and Cram could definitely be a problem.
You know what I'm afraid of? Cram's Ruby. I'm pretty sure Coach RC and Coach Tic Tac have taken notes saying, that one right there, that might be a no-no.
Cram's Ruby, one out of the numerous XP laners he's already played. He's even brought out the Dairoth and the likes of that. So I think in terms of flexibility, it's definitely a given that Cram would also be definitely be able to deliver. And that's something we would probably expect from Team Liquid, because Sanford, he does have a lot of heroes to his name, but so far he's played 5.
Yep. Sanford, Carl TZ, San, GJP, as well as OHEB. These are the players representing Team Liquid. I want to talk about the opposite lane here. OHEB, so far in this MSC, I would say he's been playing an amazing game with many different heroes. Trex, OHEB looks very unstoppable, but going up against Innocent, that's going to be a very tough matchup for both.
What's interesting about this matchup is both are aggressive gold laners. They're willing to get in the middle of the fights. They're willing to use those flicker forwards instead of flicker backwards. And it's going to be interesting, not as much in the laning phase, but I think in terms of the big 5v5s on how they react against each other.
Yeah, these are two clutch gold laners. Like, their playstyle is very clutch, they're very last minute, and they literally do those singular plays which change the entire flow of the team fight and the game. So I think that's what we're going to expect between the cold-blooded Filipino sniper and the half-man, half-beast.
Yeah, and honestly, while we're talking about this, we actually were able to talk to the half-man, half-beast, Innocent. So, again, Innocent, are you ready for this grand finals?
We are now backstage catching up with the half-man, half-beast, Innocent. Innocent, welcome. Pulse check, confidence check. How are you feeling right now?
Good.
Feeling good. What about confidence level?
Just normal.
Just normal? Yeah. Not nervous, not confident too, just normal?
Just at the middle.
Just in the middle. Okay, you guys ate together today?
Yes. Breakfast and lunch.
Okay, so it's a good thing. They had breakfast and they also had lunch together. Now, a very similar story once again from last year. A lot of people were doubting SRG, and now you're finally here in the grand finals. What does this mean for you personally?
It can really boost our confidence because last year we didn't face any PH teams, right? That's why other fans in PH are, they're always talking about like, you guys are just lucky because there's no PH team in your bracket. So right now, we already proved them wrong, and we're happy about that.
Amazing stuff. I mean, technically that's true, right? You've beaten Onyx PH before, which you've never been able to do before. And now you're one step closer to taking down TLPH. How does this make you feel?
I think this is the more into like fun match for us because we're friends with TLPH. That's why it's more into chill side than just competitive.
Okay. I mean, Sanford says something very similar as well. Very competitive, but it's also very chill because you guys are friends. Speaking of them being your friends, they're still considered the final boss here at MSC. So what do you think makes them so strong?
For me, it's about their macro and the way they play and communicate with each other. And because they're using tank meta jungler, right? That's why their macro is really good and they know on how they will capitalize it.
But you have the secret to take them down today?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we're going to see it today as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, for sure. I'm pretty sure Arcady also has something in mind here because he also shared that he has a little bit of a revenge story up against TLPH. Is this something that you share as well personally?
Oh, because we lost against them at Snapdragon.
Yeah.
That's why. For me, yeah, same with them.
Okay, so also a revenge story here. But in the lane, the grand finals, in your matchup, you are going head to head against OHEB. Are you nervous about that matchup? Are you confident against that matchup?
For me, it's normal because if you want to win the championship, you need to fight like the strongest one, right? So there's no choice. Just enjoy the game and give your best.
I love this mentality coming from SRG as well as TLPH. Message for OHEB in the lane.
Good luck and have fun.
Good luck and have fun. All right, once again, thank you. Good luck, and we're going to throw it over back to the studio.
If you want to become champion, you have to go up against the best. Now, panel, I know we always hear good luck, have fun, but I kind of feel like after Carl TZ felt disrespected by Kyrie, I feel like no one really dares to say much. Now, we already had 5 games in our third place match, so while we still have time, I just want to get a base idea coming in from you guys. Like, what do you guys think is going to happen in this best of 7 series? How many games? Who's going to win? The floor is yours. What do you guys think?
You asked for quite a bit. I thought we were just going to keep it brief. Okay, I think we're going to see at most 5 games. At most.
Wow, okay.
And I think I can only speak for the team I've been watching for years now, Liquid Philippines. I think they're going to go for a plan A and B type of situation where they know a plan of attack and then they'll only revert to B if that doesn't work, and they'll go from there.
Okay. I did bring up the entire idea about 7 games, but personally, I do feel also that we could just go 6. So I'd be 4-2 in favor of Team Liquid Philippines too. I mean, I'm a Liquid girly, so yeah.
That
Liquid
is.
girly?
It's a thing.
It's a thing, yeah, sure. Move like water. Okay, go ahead.
I'm a liquid boy.
I think you just go with boy, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah.
7 games. 1 game, 2 games, 2 games.
Oh wow, that's specific.
What am I at?
Is this Trex math?
1 game, 2 games, 2 games, 1 game. Somebody's gonna win the final game.
Not gonna lie, you lost me there.
It's
But
gonna
hey,
be epic. I'm guessing 7 games. I think everyone's counting down SRG, and I do think they can take TLPH to the limit.
I mean, like for me, I gotta trust my boys, you know, Selangor Red Giants, OG Esport. Win or lose, I'm very proud that they made it all the way here. And honestly, when we're talking about how many games this really goes, I really feel like we gotta look at both styles because they play roughly the same way, which is basically guns blazing at the first 10 seconds of the game, which is very different that we saw Team Liquid going up against Sonic ID. So are we expecting a very fast series? Like it could go 7, but every game might be fast.
Only if it was liquid-sided. Only if we're going to see a stampede or stompede, because if there is something I can say about SRGOG is when it comes down to the late game, they're second to none. If this goes past the 19-minute mark, 20-minute mark, we've seen that yesterday, Liquid is capable of overheating, and that's one of their main weaknesses. So if some way, somehow, SRGOG can put us into that kind of atmosphere wherein it's always down the wire, maybe that's how they get those 2, 3, maybe even go all the way against Liquid.
And that's been a problem for Team Liquid even for the past season. Like, teams have been observing that there are times wherein they tend to struggle when it comes to closing out the game, and that would be so frustrating for them if they're not able to manage that up against a team like SRGOG.
I don't know. I think it's hard to predict exactly, length, everything like that. I think SRG does have the ability to go to the distance. I think TLPH has some control factors, but right now in the current meta, we've seen teams get hyper aggressive, win in 10, 11 minutes. We've seen both of these teams go the distance against their opponents. I'm hoping we get some long games. I'm hoping we get some fast games. I think it's going to be a great grand finals either way.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. And Liquid Girly, shout outs to all of them. Looks like this is a very Liquid favored panel. But now, this is something that everyone has been waiting for. The start of MSC here at the Esports World Cup. We have our grand finalists. And now between both teams, $500,000 is going to be the difference between champion and runner-up. It's time to make history for both teams, Team Liquid as well as SRGOG. We'll see which one will make it. It's time to encounter the unknown.
I'm feeling really happy and proud with my team that we've come this far and we want to win MSC again.
Immortality down, Kaura against Europe, another Immortality down, and now it is just Kaura left to defend against 5 members of the Selangor Red Giants OG Esports crew. Kaura with a flicker forward, Innocent dodging away.
Not just me, but all of us are feeling out of this world because finally we have broken the semifinals curse and we just want to play again and again.
Victory for Sakeno! The Lord is still on the base. They've defended again. Carl! Not able to end. Saji, one more hit. Go back again.
I'm feeling really confident because we won against Onyx Philippines.
With Immortality down, you get a reaction from Stormy. Innocent gets a double, and you'll find another. That's a triple for Innocent. Make it a maniac. Tear Onyx Philippines down.
SRGOG is the defending champion, so it won't be easy game. So we need to do our study and preparation well. We're really looking forward, and I hope they have a good match.
Onyx are on their last legs. A curtain call comes in. Saji gets the triple. Team Liquid shatter the dreams of Onyx IT.
We're ready to face them in the grand final.
To SRGOG, my message is, since you guys have won, please give it to us, and may the best team wins.
Months of preparation, 2 weeks of heated competition, a $3 million prize pool, and it all leads up to this, the MSC 2025 Grand Final. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our honor to welcome you back to the Amazon Arena for the biggest event of the weekend. And as always, it's Milosh, your host, and by my side, my wonderful co-host, the ever so blossoming Rose. What a time! We made it to the final.
We have indeed made it to the finals over the past few weeks. Guys, we have witnessed so many things happening over here at the Amazon Arena and over here at the Boulevard. We have seen hardships, heartbrokens, we have seen tears and drama, but all of that had led us to this momentous occasion.
There's a lot on the line. Club championship points to the Esports World Cup 2025 and $1 million for whoever gets to lift this trophy and the glory of it all in only a matter of a few hours. However, the final question before we introduce our teams. Riyadh, are you ready? Let's bring them up our first team on the docket. It's none other than the Cavalry Team Liquid! In the XP lane, Sanford. In the jungle, Carl Teasy. In the mid lane, Sanji. On the roam, it's JP. In the gold lane, it's Oheb. For so long, the glory of being MSC champions has eluded them. For 3 years, they've tried and were always so close, yet so far. And now, at MSC 25, and after dominating in both groups and knockouts, they are closer than ever to completing that trophy cabinet. Can they deny the Malaysian Giants their back-to-back glory? They will have to become the undisputed champions of MLBB.
And of course, our second grand finalist, the defending champions of MSC. Let us call on up Selangor Red Giants OG Sports. In the XP, we have Cram. In the jungle, Sakais. In the mid, Stormy. For Rome, Humes. And in the gold, Innocent. Despite a shaky performance to start their title defense bid, SRG was able to channel back their championship form showcased from their success last year. They survived the wildcard champions, Virtus Pro, denied both CFU and RRQs of vengeance, and yesterday they have brought the reigning world champions to their feet. And now the Malaysian representative, it is looking to cement their legacy in the history of MLBB by being the first ever back-to-back champions.
Malaysia, Philippines in an MSC Grand Final. It cannot get any better than that. Please, gentlemen, SRG, please, Team Liquid, place your keys. It's the last time we get to do this here on stage. Take your seats, and I can't believe it. We made it. A best of 7, no second chances for Guts and Glory Rose.
It is going to be a wild and hot best of 7. Only one will be the champion today. And I'm pretty sure the audience from all around the globe is definitely ready. And with that, it is time to encounter the unknown.
Thank you very much. And yes, it's wild and hot all over here. The final match of MSC at the Esports World Cup 25. And again, both teams have a lot on their shoulders. But here's the thing. This is not foreign land for them. They've been on the grand final slot plenty of time. And heck, they're even good friends.
You know, a little known tidbit about the grand finals. Folks, you can correct me in the chat, all right? Go into my socials if I'm wrong. Carl TZ has a 100% win rate whenever he steps foot into a grand finals.
Oh.
Yep, and for you folks at home, make sure you guys redeem the code here. It is case sensitive, but hey, if you want to be safe, just scan the QR code to redeem the prize for yourself. Now, your thoughts here, Brigitte.
He did say 100% win rate in the grand finals.
I remember one now that where he lost.
But I mean, that's still very high. But for SRGOG, they also have a very high win rate whenever they're here in Riyadh.
They might be 100% actually.
Who?
SRG.
In Riyadh?
Just
so
as
far,
a team.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
just as a team. As long as they step foot in the grand finals, they won.
Yep, and now we're looking at both teams on stage here. Now, this is going to be very intense. Doesn't matter how long it goes. I really feel like game number 1 will set the tempo here. Track, so far, Team Liquid, the way that they approach the match, pressure their opponents so much, they don't even have time to react. Do you think that's a good way to start the grand finals?
I think game 1 you can definitely start like that. Most definitely. Game 1 is going to be a game about pace, who can get the first win, who can build the momentum.
And we saw when it comes to the mental, both teams are very, very strong here. Is there anything that SRGOG can possibly exploit against Team Liquid here, Leo?
I already talked about it. It's that overheat. It's that overshoot. It's that stampede until you run into a wall that SRG could do to try and get Liquid. So maybe they can start slow game 1, force them into a false sense of hope in game 2, and then go from there.
And I mean, that's how SRGOG does their typical early game. It's a slow build-up before they actually hit their spikes, and before they eventually be the ones to really drive the entire flow of the game.
And now we have a quote coming in from Sanford. He said, our chemistry is really solid now. Funny because they're liquid. It's not like before when we felt so much pressure to play for our last series. I don't think I have anything left to prove. If we win, we'll be avenging Onyx Philippines and claiming the only title we don't have. But if we lose, that's just the nature of the game. Spoken like a real champ.
Definitely spoken like a champ. This is a lineup for me, especially bringing Oheb into it. I do agree that TLPH just feels like a different beast right now. The aggression, everything feels synced up for them for this grand finals.
And this is the same vibe they were giving off when they won the M4 World Championships. They felt like just kids out on a mission, looking to have fun, and if they lose, but at least they had fun with their friends doing so.
I kind of feel like this is why both teams can be very friendly with each other, because as much as a lot of stakes are here, even in the videos that we saw, they still joke around backstage. They understand as much as you need to be intense, you need to be calm too here, Brigitte.
Yeah, and that was something too that's a result of them eventually or throughout the years finding each other in such huge stages too. Like, this isn't the first time that they're gonna meet each other in such a big stage, international stage, and in the previous times that they did, one might even say that they don't look like the best of friends, because there have been some heated face-offs too, but now it's completely different. For sure, they have such a great idea as to how the other plays, especially in this meta.
And now we're jumping straight into draft here. SRGOG, their first pick. Team Liquid is on the second pick, instantly batting out that Arlet. And Team Liquid batting out that 1-1. If we know Team Liquid, they won't change their band that much.
Again, this is the plan A. If that's not working, plan B type of approach I think the Cavalry will take. How does SRGOG approach this? Looking at the setup, LaFell, something tells me a story you shared with me yesterday is happening here. SRGOG may have won the flip and have chosen to go blue, and this spells quite the good ramp up into the series for the defending champions.
Everyone has their own superstitions, and SRGOG really likes first pick blue side here. So now, Brigitte, looking at the bands here, Arlet as well as Lancelot band. Does this look like just going for those comforts of Team Liquid?
Yeah, it does seem like it. This is an Arlet that's been spammed by Sanford yesterday, and everybody just kept saying, why does he make it look so easy to pull off the Arlet whenever he gets his hands on it? And more than this, I feel like this will open up so much of the options that we haven't been seeing as much, especially in the mid lane, because in the previous matches there has been a huge emphasis and focus on the mid lane heroes in terms of the bans.
I do really want to point out this Granger blue side ban.
Interesting,
It is, right? And it's a great swing back because red side has been very common to pick up things like the Kalea Granger, Phobius Granger, something Granger. My only worry for this is Innocent. Two of his major picks have been Moskov, Granger. And if the Moskov gets snatched up on that first snapback from red side, he starts to, it could be the hurt on themselves. But again, I'm wondering how big brain is this? They do take the CC, which overall has been a highlight pick for Cram.
Yep, and now we're jumping straight into draft here. CC pick immediately answered by the Jushin as well as the Fredrin. How do you feel about this, Leo?
I feel great, given that TLPH are going down a very familiar route. And they're ready to face off against the CC. They know how dangerous this weapon is in the EXP lane, so they stick to what they know. Zushin, Fredrin, now SRG pick up the Farsa, a lethal weapon in the hands of Stormy. And they get a Nakai. Oh, this is how they answered yesterday's Fredrin 2, a Nakai in the hands of Sekais.
Let's talk about how fast the drafts is going, but we got to mention Yums has played a total of 37 unique heroes, the most among all players in MSC history. Again, in history. But yeah, Brigitte, looking at the 3 picks coming in for both teams, this is very fast. They've figured out this draft since yesterday. CC, Akai, Farsa going up against Jushin, Fredrin, and Lapu Lapu.
Yep. I feel like a lot of, or especially after what happened yesterday, teams have put a bit more respect on the Akai. And we've seen how capable it is of going head or toe-to-toe against the Fredrin, especially in objectives. And even despite the early CC pickup, which could already be a massive threat to TLPH, I also like how they decided to respond with a Lapu-Lapu, because this is one of the best picks you could go up against the CC with in terms of damage.
I mean, Fredrin has been Carl Tizzi's most picked hero so far in the knockout stages. He's done well with it. I do think the CC plays well against it, and I think SRG, I know these drafts are snappy, but I think it's going more to SRG's pace a little bit, towards TLPH it's more of comfortability. You get Sanford on the Lapu, you have Carl Tizzi on the Fredrin. Overall, though, I think in terms of counterplay, SRG is coming out on top right now.
Yep. Liquid have to consider the Cho, and a safe gold laner is still out there, given this is the combo SRG did yesterday to take down Onyx. So maybe watch out for the Cho. Maybe you can steal it right now in Red 4.
Can I just say, Leo, besides the Jushin, TL's draft feels very M4.
And at M4, oh, there it is. See, I told you.
That just leaves the Gadot for Yumes, because there seems to be so much pressure in terms of Yumes and the heroes that he's been playing so far. They've taken out majority of the heroes that he's already picked.
Yep, ban the Gatot here, because that's what Liquid wants to do. Liquid also drafted a very similar lineup with a Gatot here.
So what about gold lane though, right? We have the Harith gone, Granger gone, Moskov still open. Does TLPH pick that up to steal it from Innocent immediately? Does SRG ban it here? You know, it's kind of, and I think that's what's taking them so long for this fifth ban.
I mean, it looks like the secret strat is just to go for that Bruno and just play very, very fast.
Yep, Bruno, still Iritel is out there. Beatrix, Claude.
Claude, yeah.
Claude has suddenly become a breakout gold laner in the span of 48 hours.
And they banned the Matilda again. I feel like even in the previous series, this has been a trend. Teams just ban out the Matilda entirely because, again, it amplifies the entire idea of a utility jungler. But do they go for gold lane here? As mentioned, the Moskov is still open, or the Bruno, or they can leave it for later and instead maybe go for Gatot, and that's in. So this
is what they want, because it's a good answer towards the Pharsa.
Yeah, and they get some counterplay in the gold lane. Because of the limitability of what is left, there is some counterplay out there. Bruno, Moskov, you have a couple options, and they get to see as well whatever SRG ends up picking for their roam position here. They can also pick a gold laner to kind of play around that.
Something interesting to point out as well is the Harv as well as Granger. Very lane heavy, very bursty hero. So it looks like they are looking for a comfortable lane for Innocent here.
Yeah, and Liquid are comfortable with playing with a lineup that has no burst. So SRG have to account for that. What are they going to put into the hands of the half man, half beast, the Innocent beast? They get the Bruno once again. All right, we saw that coming, but there's no Cho. What does Yumes play? Do they switch up?
Ooh.
No, they don't. It's the Grok. We haven't seen Grok.
Hey,
looks good here.
Most unique heroes. 37 for Yumes.
There it is.
Let's also point out that when SRG takes a new unique hero pick, a lot of the times they win. We saw it, I mean, a lot of times they're able to win those games with those random picks coming in. I like it here. I like it a lot. I think SRG looks very clean in their draft.
Yeah, I was considering the Claude before this even, since it's also one of the options that are left, but the Grok just answers that so well too. Even with a single Blazing Duet coming in, you could just be cancelled by the knockup. So Team Liquid Philippines might revert back to the likes of them. Oh, hey, okay.
You know what? Having an extra monkey sometimes helps you out tremendously. Track's final thoughts before we throw it over to the casters.
When TLPH played the Claude yesterday, that was the one game that they lost. Everything around that as well. Carl Tizzi's going to have to be careful in these neutral objective pits. The whole draft of SRG is built around that.
What about you, Leo? Any final thoughts?
This is a very similar draft to what we saw from both teams yesterday, with a little bit of spicy flavor. I'm expecting... I think Liquid's got this, though.
All right, thank you very much. And now, without further ado, we're going to throw it over to the casters for the first game of the Grand Finals.
Thank you so much, LaFell. It's great to hear our panelists be so excited for this game because it's our time. It's Gideon and Miracle here at the desk to keep you guys entertained for our very first match here in the Grand Finals.
And man, it is such a high-stakes matchup with two
brutal competitors. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the defending champions of MSC. Those who lifted the trophy that you see on stage just last year up against a team who's been waiting all these years to compete, to contend, and to find redemption for themselves.
Now, straight into the game, we're already seeing that the compositions are starting to come online, right? They want to make sure that this mid-prio is held within their grasp. And it's important, so important for both of these teams to maintain this momentum, to kick things off, to start off with a fresh impression in game number 1.
SRG, we've been talking about mid-prio a whole lot on the group stages, just in this tournament, how important it is to get yourself prio, tempo around the map. And that's what the Grok does. We haven't seen this pick in a while, but it's so good at clearing waves, and you can see it here. JP and Sanji are always just shoved into their own turret.
Absolutely, and I think Gatot and as well as Grok kind of do the exact same thing, right? They want to make this mid lane 2-for-2 fight to be obsolete. But we were actually talking about this in the back, right? It's not just about them. The EXP has been such a large proponent of MSC so far, right? Based on the emblems that we're looking at so far, nothing too out of the ordinary, other than the Grok, of course, but he's taking Wilderness Blessing, allowing himself to rotate a little bit faster just in case JP is able to quickly jump into the fight with the AOG.
Yeah, this is also a pick, technically, that we have really seen Innocent pop off on. It's funny how we didn't really get to see the Bruno on Innocent at M6 when it was broken. Here, we finally see that it's actually kind of like a final piece of the puzzle for SRG. Beating Onyx Philippines and now securing the XP Crab. This is a big fight for Turtle One. Both teams want to play with the snowball early, and it really starts here. Could be make or break for both.
Let's see how they skill check each other. I think this is the most important part for either side, right? This first Turtle, we've seen a lot of teams snowball out of control when they make that first mistake, and it looks like so far for Stormy, he's shoved in. He's going to be a little bit late to the fight, but level 4 achieved at least.
Sanford level 4. Look at the damage from Yums already. No regen, it seems, for Sanford. He's going to have to hold it. Great reset. No. The Turtle's still within the vicinity. Skies walks up with a heavy spin as well. Now it's going to dive over for Sanford. Still able to flicker out though, and Stormy does the same. Heavy spin, put him in a great position, even with the Brave Smite. It'll be a kill over to SRG with the Turtle take 2.
Beautiful fight coming in from SRG's side. The setup was interesting, right? He uses the Nature's Barrier. We thought that maybe he was looking for the reset. They don't find the reset, but it also works as a piece of terrain that Skies can use that heavy spin to guarantee some form of stuns. It's great that Yums also hit level 4 on time to get a wild charge to extend the lead because Sanford was already so far.
It was really just tough. Sanford was chunked in at the start, and you gotta give credit to Yums, to Cram for doing that. He started the fight at half HP. The Turtle was put in a tough spot, and he technically just had to dive on Stormy with a quarter of HP left by that time.
And that's exactly how SRG need to play this, right? They are looking not only for opportunities, but to shorten the trigger finger of Team Liquid because they've been so good. Liquid, when they stampede, it all starts with, hey, do we have tempo on our side? And that's been the largest problem we've seen from a lot of teams. Can we wrestle away that control? Can we get the timings on our side? Ooh, JP's got some vision, though.
It's going to be a bit of poke over to Innocent, but it's actually going to lose out in the trade. Innocent, doing a whole lot. Locking him down as well. AOG force out, but Carl is left all alone. Sacrifice to SRG. And a gold crab for Innocent.
A beautiful Nature's Barrier coming in from Yums. Admittedly, we haven't seen this Grok in a long time, and yes, it was shown during the wild cards, but played at the highest level, especially when the stakes are so high, it can be risky. For now, it's looking good for the side of SRG, but Team Liquid, they're not completely out of the water just yet. With Carl's very first death, it means that the rest of the team needs to compensate.
For SRG, everything's going to plan. Again, they've built a composition to really just secure these neutral objectives, and that's why it was paramount for them to get the first Turtle. Now, it does seem like it's smooth sailing. Cram is in a comfortable spot. They have the crazy CC to deny Carl Teasy of the crazy red tree steals we've seen from him throughout the tournament.
Speaking of crazy red tree steals, this might be one of those opportunities.
Ooh. Oh man, wild charge and the heavy spin coming down as well, but the curtain call locks him down, and the back line's going to be Sanford looking for play, but Stormy is able to fly away. Carl locked in, has the AOG to help him out, and the egg does actually get away with OHEP dealing damage, gets one. Innocent still free, hitting in the back now as that's the Lantern Flare, bringing him back, but Sanji's left all alone, and Innocent claims the double.
Oh my goodness, what a close fight. And it's not over yet. Sanford's in trouble. Innocent's got him under the turret.
Sanford, kind of the tough spot, does not have the bravest spider, but with the help of OHEP, gets to clear the wave. and gets to stop SRG at capitalizing with the lead that they have.
Okay, they can breathe for just a second. Honestly, Team Liquid, they've got a really good moment, right? Sanford was able to not only cancel out the Feather Airstrike really early, they get the Battle Spell out of Stormy, but more importantly, they shove him so far underneath the turret, they lost the majority of their damage, but the longer this fight goes, Innocent, his crits are so important.
Oh, the Feather Airstrike again over to Sanji. Oh, Carl Solo finding an angle to take the turtle, but they'll still lose 2 on the board. So it ends up still being worth it. Yes, Team Liquid don't lose as much as you would expect, but SRG are capitalizing on this man advantage too, going straight for the tier 1 in the mid lane, and there is nothing Sanji can do.
That's an instant response from the side of SRG. Despite Carl TZ's first death, he has evened out the score. Oh, please, do not die here.
Oh, Innocent cutting him off as well, but he does take a few turret shots. No BMI, that's going to be the Purify to get him a bit more movement speed. Innocent with a solo kill up top against the Filipino sniper.
That's a solo bolo there, and now dropping the ult to make sure that JP gets chunked out to half. Let's pull up the item list real quick here. I'm curious to see, where is Innocent alongside his build? No, he goes straight away for the Haskell. He knows that he wants to be part of this fight, sure, but if they drag it longer and longer, the sustain is so important. When he gets that Berserker's Fury, that's when he's got the gun in hand.
Dude, when SRG are behind, people are still saying, yo, Innocent, man, Innocent. So when they're ahead like this, half the lead for SRG, 2,700, half of that is on Innocent. The man you really want to have gold at any time. And the fact that Team Liquid, with this composition, technically don't really have an answer against them, makes it all the more scary. Feathered Airstrike already dropped down. Sanford getting the sun, but Cram is still very healthy, has the Vengeance too, is able to flicker out towards the heavy spin, but will be pinned down in the end, and Skies gets yet another kill to put SRG 8-1.
But what's Liquid's response here? They see everything that has happened on that bottom side. They saw the initial engagement. They know they don't have that heavy spin, so they push out that mid side. They're trying to get OHEB as quickly as possible to get into that Trinity as Carl TZ protects the structure down bottom. Now T1 mid is open, which is allowing SRG to have some very convenient rotations on their side. It doesn't mean that Team Liquid is completely out, because look at the lead. Despite everything that has happened, 8-1, only a 2.5 to 2.4k lead, which is not much.
Nope, which is weird. With 8 kills and those crits landing. All right, now we feel that lead. It's Cram in the bottom lane, brought back again. It should be a kill over. With a Vengeance, not much you can do, but just take damage. So it's a good start to the turtle fight for Team Liquid here. For the airstrike, though, might be a trade. Sanford able to dodge away. What? Flicker from Stormy to try to go for the chase, and now that's big info. Sky's walking up again. Carl TZ looking for an angle as Sanji jumps in deep. Heavy spin coming down as Sanford walks up, but it's still going to be Skies who wins it out. Innocent with the dive in the back. Sanford walking in, and Skies is able to peel. Innocent still free hitting. Carl TZ finding the taunt now. Can he get the damage down? Oh, the hell of the blazing duet, he can. A massive shutdown with the Appraiser's Wrath. OHEB still taken out by Stormy. Skies is right there. The GOAT fighting against 3. Skies walks away, dodges away from a possible stun. No! Carl, he wanted to fight all the way to the end. He did, but he couldn't get a trade.
Okay, a moment to breathe. Sakai's utilizing the Akai very, very well. That passive shield is saving his life. Let's look at the replay one more time, because off of this, we noticed immediately. Stormy, no flicker, no feathered airstrike. This was such a winning scenario for the side of Team Liquid. And as they continue to press their advantage, it's just target prioritization from SRG, despite all of the chaos. Can you see JP get chunked down first, and then turning their attention to OHEB?
Did you see Innocent in that fight, dude? He was chain CC'd. You saw Sanji straight up go for the Crimson Beacon, lifted him up. It was a combo with JP. But the flicker came in first up top. Live cam view. OHEB ganked. Everything used, even the Vengeance. Everything except the heavy spin and the worldie. But that's a whole lot.
It is a whole lot. The tempo is affected as Sakai's makes another play.
That's the heavy spin. The AOG to cut him off there to try to stop Carl TZ from getting picked off. Good taunt to get the reset on the second skill, dashing back to safety. And SRG, 14-3. They're looking very healthy coming into Lord timers.
And now without the heavy spin, and as well as the wild charge, they don't have much of a setup. Unless Team Liquid make a significant mistake, they would rather stay healthy, stay alive, to try and buy time for OHEB to get to the point where he can actually fight. And that's when he has that Trinity build, right? The big issue that he's facing right now is that every single time he walks up, there's a problem of, am I going to get hit by the heavy spin? Oh, wait.
No, man, well, look at the peel. There, JP with the conceal finds it. OHEB gets the blazing duet take. Now Carl TZ brought back all the way. Certain call by Cram to take the goat down. JP, they know he has no AOG. He's going to have to go with Unbreakable. AOG came back right in time. Bates on the flicker as well. Yum's caught on the bat spot. He's going to be the Purify out of the wild charges. Cram goes over the chase, but now Sanford walks over the bravest fighter. He's looking for the stun. Will be able to find it, but it's going to be the power from Yums with the CC immunity as the Lantern Flare comes in again for Sanji, and they peel back.
Look at these low kick checks from both sides. Every single time a play is made, there must be an instant response. They will not get disrespected if they want to make sure that this 1.7k lead doesn't turn back into that 2.5, doesn't get a ×2 multiplier on it, despite the kill score, which again, very deceiving.
It really is. 15-4, we saw a glimpse of what that lead could do with Innocent doing this much. 52,000 damage dealt, leading the charge with Stormy and Cram, and then we start seeing Team Liquid. But Oheb is slowly but surely scaling. Carl on it already. Sanford with a dash back again. Sky's holding on to it. Carl TZ doesn't want this to be reset, but Cram's coming in again, shredding him down. Appraiser's Wrath coming down as well with a sustain, and it is going to be a kill back. Skies with Retribution. Winner Sanford going to be pinned down again. It's Innocent, just gets a free hit. But in the back line, the Blazing Duet is doing a whole lot of damage over towards Yums, who's so tanky and gets away in the end. Sanji forced to use the Crimson Beacon.
That's got to be heartbreaking. Team Liquid fans are looking in disbelief. How does he survive that? He flickers out of there at the very end. The fact that he held on with Power of Nature alone, could have chunked out more targets, just wasn't enough. But look at the Emperor's Eye, the zone from Team Liquid, as well as SRG OG Esports, right? They know exactly what they're doing. First, secure the Lord. Next thing, you see Skies quickly jump onto Lapu's side to ensure that Stormy has a better time. All of this just using a small margin of their lead in terms of items to stay alive.
Hey, Cram walks up a bit too aggressively while charge, but JP gets away.
Is there a heavy spin angle here? No. Looks like Sakai's not going to take it this time. They're walking with the Lord at the very least. If they can take an inhibitor, that'd be great.
No wild charge. They still have the heavy spin, but they got to be careful because they need to peel for Innocent and Stormy. So no base turrets taken down here for SRG. And I think it's a smart move. They lost Cram. There's no reason for them to push in forward. They still have a 4,000 gold lead. Yes, there's that risk of Oheb scaling up to becoming a monster. But it could be even worse if you just dove in there to give shutdown. So yeah, gold lead's still roughly the same between the gold laners. It's a 1,000 diff for Mr. Innocent. But we're getting closer and closer to Oheb being a real problem.
And he's already got 3 items on top of the Winds of Nature. He's in a phenomenal position. The same can be said about Innocent, if not better with the Malefic Gun. But then we start looking at everybody else. The anti-heals are finally in for the side of Team Liquid. We got 2 Dom Ices that they can work with. Jushin also with the Sky Piercer, but Stormy going for the full damage build. Genius want into Glowing Wand, which is why they've been so decisive in these fights.
So no stacks on the Sky Piercer yet for Sanji, yeah?
Why Hunter Strike this time for the side of Cram?
He just needs he wants to deal more damage. He knows for Team Liquid right now, they have so much sustain. That's what they've been playing with, right? Even with Sanji, just playing around with the Brave Smite, coming around with the Blood Wings. It really comes down to TL wanting to go for a bit longer fights, waiting for the cycle of abilities to be used up by SRG.
I would have imagined that if he wanted to greed out, he might even go for Queen's Wings, or at the very least, may even take a more tankier approach to the scenario. I mean, considering that his role is to not only sustain, but slowly poke out his opponents, right? He's already got the Brute Force Breastplate, he's already got the War Axe, he's got more than enough damage to kite against his opponents, but his big issue is dealing with Jushin specifically. If his yo-yos are hitting the wrong targets, well, guess what? Jushin can either peel him away, or forcefully just wait for him to leap and cancel it out.
So it's back to a setup game. SRG doing a good job at manipulating the waves, playing for the neutral objectives. And Team Liquid, it really just seems like all of their fights have been brute forcing a way to maybe gambling out of this massive win for SRG. Because again, it's so difficult. You kind of have to take the gamble every time you fight for the Lord. There's no way you get a proper 50-50. It's an Akai and a Grok to stop you from retreating.
Yeah, I mean, Carl TZ, despite everything, is still maintaining level 15 to level 15, right? It's a 50-50 retry battle, more in favor to SRG. But let's see how Liquid plays this out, right? This 3.1k is actually not as big of a lead, especially since they've already passed the 42k mark.
Good damage over the O-Head there. Karl TC coming with the taunt. The heavy spin comes around, but Sanford dies in the back with the Brave Spider. Again, gonna be cancelled out by Skies. It's a shot down. Skies wins the retreat battle. It's a blazing new weapon, but Cram is able to stop it from happening. AOG defensively. Cram looking for the chase. Yums right there too. Sanji pop the Crimson Beacon. Stormy flies by, but SRG no. They've gotten the win already. They've gotten the Lord Cram. It's gotta be careful. They don't want a repeat of what happened earlier.
Yeah, I mean, if he wants to sustain, there's a wave coming up top side, and now they're looking for mid inhibitors before that Lord even reaches, which is perfect for the side of SRG. Look at this siege as they apply more and more pressure to the crystal.
Able to find those crits. Oh my lord, the damage! Can they clear it out? JP walks up in time, but they have a whole other wave to play with. GG as Sky spins around to Zone TL. SRG get game one.
What a fast game one as well. This is one of those moments where you're like, okay, what happened to us? And Team Liquid understood that they went straight for the joints. They broke their formations, and therefore these neutral setups were a lot harder to pull off. Something to think about. Blue side has been doing very, very well. I'm expecting a switch. I'm expecting some very specific bans.
SRG versus Onyx Philippines, to just give you guys the bigger picture, was a 100% win on Blue. It was the same, I believe, for the match against RQ Hoshi. So SRG, they really have just been leaning on that. They're like, you know what? If Blue side keeps getting us wins, let's just play with it.
It's a best of 7, so we need to see what that tempo breaker is going to be. Whoever finds their first red side win might just change this entire game. But with that being said, we're going to be throwing it back to our panelists. What do you think about the games?
Much Mirko and Gideon, and what I think is that when you put two teams that really wants to start the game off fast, it will end pretty fast. And honestly, this is an amazing game coming in from both teams, but SRG OG brought this roughly the same draft that they did against Onyx Philippines and won that one. And it looks like the same strategy works against Team Liquid. So this is the opener where SRG OG took first blood against Team Liquid, being the second team to get a game win against them. The previous one, it was only Onyx Indonesia. So now, looking in this situation, I believe a lot of people are surprised. A lot of people are flabbergasted, trying to understand what really happened for this one. So I feel very honored for the grand finals. We're going to have a little bit of help here because welcome back to the English broadcast. You guys are watching the English panel. And alongside with us will be Kid Bomba, all the way from Team Spirit to help us break down that match. So first thing I got to ask, CC first pick. Why is that so damn strong now?
I don't know. I've had like a lot of success with CC myself in scrims. And it's a super strong hero. In my opinion, it doesn't have any losing lanes. And as soon as you get the War X, if you play against a tank jungle and you have a tank jungler in your team, you're like one of the strongest heroes on side lane as well. So it's very, very hard for you to compete against the CC.
Yeah, because honestly, like the start of this month, everyone keeps questioning why do you want to first pick the CC? Are you trolling? There's so many other great picks, but as we saw, for the past few days here in the knockout stage, it has been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and even way back in MWI, if you guys would recall, this entire CC first pick trend started happening. I believe it was even Gaming Gladiators started at the time, but even me, I was a bit shocked to see that, oh, so this is the case now. It's a CC first pick. And it didn't happen immediately here in MSC, but now you see how effective it is, actually.
But yeah, honestly, now looking at the game, I kind of feel like everyone was surprised by how SRG OG was able to have that commanding of a lead. Like, what do you think, Trex? Watching that game, is it all just because of the burst? Was it a draft? Like, what was it?
Well, I think they came into that game knowing TLPH likes to bring early game aggression, and they decided, you know what? We're going to take Grok and Cuss a Blast. We're going to take Farza, have one of the quickest clear lanes on any combo you could pick in the mid lane, quick rotations with Wings by Wings, and I mean, even in the first minute or two, they were always on TLPH's side of the river. They were controlling the map from the beginning.
So now, Kid Bomba, looking at how the meta has been shaping up, do you feel like teams that get all these early leads, we need the first two turtles, did that give a lot of advantage for the team to eventually secure the W?
I think it's going to be really important for both teams to understand that they should make the rotation move more to the XP lane as the series goes on. Because I saw that Sanford lost a lot of HP before the first circle started, and that was a big problem for TLPH. They had a hard time because of that, in my opinion. And for me, it's just going to be the team that understands first that everything goes to the XP. Because for me, also, Cram versus Sanford is a key factor in this series. Is going to have a very good time. And just leave the gold laners, let them battle it out 1v1.
That's terrifying though, because they did leave the gold laners. They did let them be. But what happened to Innocent? Innocent on the Bruno was just going crazy.
And maybe that's what SRGOG wants, because they understand that Innocent is pretty good in lane. Now, honestly, I agree with your point, the EXP lane. Even in an interview with Sanford, he said that the EXP matchup is so crucial. So before I go to Trikes, personally for you, do you think it was a mistake for them to pick up the Lapu Lapu? Because we understand it's to fight against the Farsa, but let us know, how is the matchup between CC and Lapu Lapu? Is it favored or is it just a 50-50?
It is favored for the CC, and I think every lane is favored for the CC, because you can always decide to just push the wave. You don't have to fight. You can always just push the wave, and the enemy XP can only look at you. He cannot do anything versus you, because if he comes close, you hit him with your first skill, it's super hard. So it's always favored for the CC, and that's why it's such a strong hero. And specifically the Lapu can win if he gets to level 4, but that's exactly why they have to make the rotation to the XP.
I think it's a really solid point. I think overall the CC is the power pick of EXP lane right now. And I think just in terms of total draft for TLPH, it was a lot of comfort. Sanford on Lapu, Carl Teasy on the Fred Rin, just around the map. I think we said it when the draft was going. This feels like, all right, let's warm up. Let's get into comfort picks.
And I feel like even beyond the entire CC Lapu matchup, whenever Sanford does try to do what he has to do, which is to dive into the Farsa, there's a potential heavy spin. There are other sources of either crowd control or burst damage that will make it so much more difficult for him. So it was an overall hard game for an XP lane Lapu Lapu in that situation, even though we did say it was supposedly meant for the Farsa.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of disruption. So now, Kid Bomba, looking at the first game of that match, what do you think the TLPH really needs to adjust to equalize against SRGOG?
I think on first pick, they should really try to play with all the bans. Maybe give away the 1-1, try to do something with that, try to counter pick it, and just try to play around with that, because as we just saw, the CC is really hard to counter if they don't get the correct XP laner.
At this point, is it like bannable, or is there a way for you to play around that?
In my opinion, the way to play around it is to force the enemy to pick something different first. And then you take it, you know?
So open something juicy up, like, I don't know, Lancelot,
Yeah, you bait them, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Fair enough. And we've seen a lot of teams take that strategy overall. SRG, though, they favor. I think the best answer against SRG might be the ban, because Cram has done so phenomenally with the CC that I don't know if they're going to fall for the bait overall.
And now that we talk about the entire draft, the bans and the picks, this is actually, if I'm not mistaken, the first time Team Liquid lost on the red side so far, because they've been with...
I'm colorblind. I cannot...
They've lost in general, so we don't have too much statistical facts
so
on it.
that's aside the fact, but it just goes to show that Team Liquid are supposedly very comfortable with the red side, or the right side for level, but SRG have found a way around it. So that's another thing. It seems like they're definitely well prepared heading into this matchup.
Because honestly, like, if we're talking about leaving the CC open for, say, either SRGOG or Team Liquid to possibly not pick it up, then that becomes the question. What is so juicy that you would let go of that CC? Because at this point, what? Is it the Yisu Shin? Is it the Lancelot? SRGOG, they really like the Kalia. So maybe that? Who knows? Like, what's your
YSS. I think YSS is it. You leave the YSS open, maybe they go for it. I do think next game, most likely TLPH will take that blue side. So the question on my mind is, does SRG ban the CC? Or do they throw out the Kid Bomba bait tactic?
So the Kid Bomba bait tactic is, again, that's what we're calling it.
Is that the new meta? Is that the new name?
Hey, it's the Bomba bait.
Bomba bait.
Bomba bait. But now, honestly, like, I just want to switch it up just a little bit, because my boy Stormy performed really well on that Farsa. So just want to ask you, like, do you prefer just having more burst damage coming in for your mid, or more control, something like a Jushin? Because we've seen success with both, but at least for SRGOG, it looks like this burst damage has been helping them out a lot.
I think he did phenomenally on the Farsa, and it's a super good pick versus the Zushin, I feel like. Especially together with the Grok, the way Yums played this game. I really, really liked it. He did really well. For me, he's also a key player in SRG.
So quick question, Baba. I am on totally on board that Farza is the better pick against Zushin. Do you think it's the counter pick? Do you think it's overall the superior mage in mid right now?
No, Zushin should still be better, and it just depends on how you play it.
All right,
but Eve is also good versus Zushin, you know?
Eve is good. Eve's good. I just think the range and the burst right now, the Farza just seems to be winning more games, at least against the Zushin overall.
I see what you mean, but what if Zushin wins the start?
That's fair. That's fair. I think the Zushin goes good against the utility junglers. There's some use there, but still, I think the Feather Airstrike is the superior ulti.
I kind of feel like this is all about MLBB philosophy.
Yeah.
What do you like to play? Do you like to pick up your opponents, or do you just want to smash them? First, for me, I'm, Farsa is a birdie baddie. I like that burst damage.
Okay.
But that's me. What about you?
Should I hop in this?
Yes.
I mean, up to you. You're the analyst.
I'm gonna apologize. I'm gonna have to go with Farsa. No.
No?
Yes.
Yes?
Farsa. Maybe.
Or
yes.
you a Valentina girl?
No. I mean, if it were Sanji, yes. But I mean, because for the Jushin, I would be leaning into it more if you see it alongside certain heroes, similar to the Arlot, and if you get to pair it with those kinds of combos. But the Farsa overall, I mean, this conversation has been going ever since. Damage definitely is the way to go if you want to establish that momentum and that early lead or pressure up against your opponents in the game.
The fact that this can be a debate shows that this MSC at the Esports World Cup, the meta is quite wide open. Sure, there are S-tier picks all around, but there's multiple ways to play with this. So it's crazy that we talked a lot that we haven't touched on the Grok. You know what? If the Grok pops up again, we'll touch on it, Trax. Now, going to this matchup, I really feel like for Team Liquid, if they do pick up blue side first pick, that is going to be a major win condition for them. And just want to ask the opinion of Kid Bomba, why this first pick looks so strong now? Because before this, it looks like red side is pretty good, but now it looks like first pick is just superior.
You really don't want to give the 1-1. You don't want to give the YSS. It's hard to play versus the Kalia. There's the CC. There's just too many picks that you go for. And as long as you ban the OP heroes, then it's really easy to just pick one hero and you're confident. You know, you're good with it. You're fine.
Honestly, that kind of sucks being second pick because you don't have a ban. you legit don't have a ban. You got to take out the 1-1, etc. But looks like SRGOG changing the script a little bit. Banning out this early, really respecting Sanford.
They're showing that they do have a ban. They're showing that they do have options, and maybe they're going to throw out the bait for the first pick to try to secure themselves the CC. Because so far, TLPH hasn't banned it out. Phobius, Fanny. So still some power picks on the field.
And SRG, so to answer our question, this is indeed respect from them. Whether they be on left or blue side or red side, they're gonna ban out that Arlot, and that just makes things so much more easier for Cram. But the question again on whether or not they're letting go of the CC still remains to be one of the biggest mysteries heading into the first pick.
Okay, here's the thing, SRGOG, they really like the Kalia. So, Bomba, do you think like it's still a fair trade for TLPH to pick up that CC and then SRGOG picks up Kalia +1?
I think they're throwing out the YSS bait here. They're throwing out the YSS bait here. It looks like they're trying to take CC and Kalia right now. But Team Liquid did ban the CC, so I guess now they ban YSS. But the lands is also open, so they might trade those. I'm not sure.
Honestly, the trade does seem very viable. I don't know if they want to see Carl Tizia on the Lancelot.
I wouldn't.
I think whatever ends up happening, if the Kalea's open, Granger's also open from last time. Let's see what the last man is. Jushin. So either Lancelot YSS from TLPH, Kalea +1, Granger, or the YSS Lancelot.
I don't mind early Farsa, I'm not going to lie.
And are you going to be comfortable with letting Yums get his hands on the Kalea too? Because that's going to be another option that SRG can pick later on, since they have the next pick after this.
What do you think, Bomba here, first pick for TL?
Personally, I think the YSS is the strongest hero in the meta currently, so they should pick it up. But I really see the vision that they don't want to give Yums the Kalia. So you either steal it, or you take the YSS and fight it with YSS Gatot versus Kalia.
And it looks like they do pick up the YSS. Not gonna get risky with it, but it does look like SRGOG, this is part of their plan.
Kalea Farza, The Jushin's already gone. You get a powerhouse in the mid. You get the Kalea. You can save your jungle for third pick. You don't need it right now. I think that's the way we go here.
Okay. There you go.
Looks like we're reading the draft quite well here, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Should be the Gatot.
And Lucky Lady.
So the Gatot mentioned by Kid Bomba here, I do feel like it's going to be a great answer. And might they want to reveal or pick up their OHEB hero now? The Granger to match up, with the range. That I was thinking along the lines of that. But then that'll reveal much of where the damage and much of where they're going to play around for the draft if they do decide to go that route.
I mean, seeing as they have the YSS, they could maybe hold on to the marksman pick because they already have so much damage. They don't need to heavily rely on burst from a Granger, but it's more about, do you want to give the Granger over to SRG on Innocent's hands?
And as expected, the Gatokacha got picked, and this time the Lapu as well. So, I don't know, what were your thoughts on this opener coming in from TL?
The Lapu is still flex, believe it or not. Teams do play it in the goat lane.
Wait, what?
It is. I don't know if OHEB does it, but it is flex with the YSS. So we might see some XP interbands coming in from SRG, but I'm not sure. I don't think OHEB plays it. Yep. I just wanted to say that.
No, you know what? You're already giving people ideas. After the grand finals, be careful when you're in ranked games. Is this going to be a Lancelot pick or an Akai pick? Because I kind of feel like both does work well with the draft. It looks like they go for that Lancelot. So it's going to be carry in the jungle. Now, I don't know, person for you, Kid Bomba, is there any hero the SRGOG really needs to ban out to make sure that they don't get punished?
For sure, the Selena, in my opinion, is going to be a super good pick for TLPH. It's going to help them be able to fight easier at the start of the game, and I think it's going to be very good.
Yeah, I think Selena definitely could be a pickup with the ban. They take out the Ruby, though, because there's the gold lane. It's definitely a possibility. And quick note to that, OHEB back in the M3 days was known for playing non-marksman gold laners. We saw things like the Alice back then. We've seen those picks. It beat BTK way back in the day. So
good old days, man.
I'm just saying.
Good old days.
Double fighter off lane, all that kind of stuff. So yes, I don't think we can completely count OHEB out. I just don't know if TLPH wants to run it.
But you know what? This Ruby ban by SRG, it makes me think about what Kid Bomba said, because the Rubies too can be considered like, yes, a flex, and we want to think of it as a gold lane ban, but if Kid Bomba presented the entire idea of the Lapu flex, then might as well. But yeah, so they go for the Luyi last ban too for Sanji, but then the Selena, that's open, the Valentina, that's open.
Yeah, so now looking at the Esmeralda as well as the Glue banned out here, is there any more good EXP laners to deal with this Lapu Lapu?
The Esmer ban kind of tells us that it is a Lapu XP, and I don't think that OHEB is comfortable on the fight. I do think that he's going to go for like a Purify Marksman versus the Kalia, something like a Harith, like a Claude. I am really waiting for that pick, and I actually don't know what XP laners he can take versus Lapu anymore, because the Glue is a really good answer, the Esmer is a really good answer, and 4 XP laners are banned currently, if you guys didn't notice.
Yeah.
We have seen things like the Akai get picked up in EXP as like possible answers, just something that can work.
Oh, is that a Hylos? Yeah,
Hylos? Okay, so
wait.
So
I don't think that's a good pick though.
You don't think that's a good pick?
I don't think that's a good pick versus Lapu.
You think he's going to get punished?
I do.
I don't like Hylos either, personally.
So it might work. We don't know.
Hey, anything can happen, because here's the thing. First pick is just overall superior. So now, Brigitte, we're looking at the final 2 picks here for Team Liquid. Looks like they do pick up the Harith, and they do pick up the Valentina. What do you think of the overall composition coming in from Team Liquid?
I feel like they're going to be much more comfortable with this, aside the fact that Sanji did get his hands on the Valentina again, and there are just so many ultimates he can steal away from SRG. And despite the Granger still being open, for Sanji, that's just another option. Like the Death Sonatas can just be picked up by the IMU, and they have ways to reach these heroes in the backline for SRG. Now, especially that they have, or they don't have the Akai and the Grok in their lineup.
Yeah, I think you definitely just pick up, you pick up what? Just the Granger here, Purify, Flicker, whatever you want to go. You could go for something like the Claude, possibly, if you really want to play the safe route because of all the dive heroes.
Oh, that's a Bea.
Oh, Beatrix.
Yeah, so now Kid Bomba looking at both drafts. Any final thoughts before we go into game number 2?
I love the draft of Team Liquid. It's the YSS together with the Valentina and the Gatot. I feel like they're stronger on the mid lane because Gatot is a super good pick against the Kalia. For me, it's going to all depend on the first turtle, and I have a feeling that the Lapu Lapu is going to make the difference in this game. So let's see.
Yeah, very solid picks here coming in from Team Liquid. But SRGOG, looks like they want to go for the all combo of the Kali as well as the Beatrix. So thank you very much, panel. But now we got to throw it over to the casters for game number 2 in this grand finals.
Thank you so much. Everybody on the panel is absolutely right. We love the words coming out from Kid Bomba. Me and Mirko definitely agree. It's going to come down to this Lapu here. The matchup is tough, but we've already seen what game 1 looks like. That tempo is important. These neutral fights are high stakes as we get right into the Land of Dawn for our second game in this best of 7 here at the grand finals of the Midseason Cup 2025 here at EWC 25. Let's get this show on the road. TLPH on the blue side facing up against SRG OG on the red side.
So we've seen a composition where SRG basically said, nah, Carl, you're not going to win out those red tree battles. Now we're seeing more of a brawly composition. This is what I think we've come to expect from SRG, more so than game number 1, where it was an unorthodox SRG. We didn't expect that kind of strat. So let's see if they can actually do that. Again, Bomba mentioned this matchup going to be very good for Team Liquid. Turtle One, very important for both these teams. That guy knows a whole lot about the game. I think he should go pro.
Yeah, I think he should also maybe turn into a talent or something afterwards. But it's the way that we've seen this game play out. We can tell from the drafting phase alone that SRG have kind of doubled down on the strategy of the pickoff, right? Really utilize that Tsunami Slam. Whoever they pick off, they have to instantly kill. Because Team Liquid, they see this Beatrix and they're like, wait, she doesn't have the Purify. If we can get that battle spell out, that's a huge window for us to punish our opponents. If they went Granger with a Purify of his own, I think Oheb will be a lot more confident into taking on this fight, especially if the Granger makes a mistake. Based on Emblem so far, things are looking pretty normal. Nothing too unorthodox or out of the ordinary. Only notable thing is probably going to be not only the Weapon Master from Innocent, but the Wilderness Blessing coming up specifically from Cram. He wants to be part of these fights.
He does. A whole lot more mobility to already a very high mobile hero here with the Glorious Pathway. Again, also the firmness of the pull yourself together here coming from Yum. So he wants to go for those big ultimates, but also he wants to respect how much damage Team Liquid have, especially around the first turtles, where it's very important for them to secure it. It comes down to the snowball again in the mid lane. Stormy, feathered airstrike over to Sanji, taking him so low, and that's just so much more pride to play with. Sanford already there, but the Glorious Pathway is going to stop Carl Teasy in his tracks. It's going to be tough. Sanford diving with Brave Spider. Onto Stormy goes. Tries to predict the flicker move. Wings by Wings was a bit too much for him. Carl the move. Again, Mountain Shocker. Predicting the move from Skies. Sanford the jump one more time over Stormy. Good peel from Yums. And Sanji now has the Glorious Pathway. And a third with a Renner's Apathy to turn the tide around. Skies finds some execution. The taunt dodged away from. And it becomes another from Innocent!
He's playing out of his mind now. Another feathered airstrike. They're going to get it this time. Oh, JP, the next to fall. What a start coming in from SRG OG Esports. They're not done yet. Give him another one, might add it. Holy, a 3-0 and 1 start for Innocent.
Innocent on a Beatrix. This is a big gamble. To play this in the grand finals, to be landing these shots.
Oh, you can even see Oheb. He sees Innocent move into position and he's like, no. Dashing in, trying to protect his teammates, taking at least a shot. Sacrifice my HP, sir. Unfortunately, too late. The angle is good, and you can see Krammy's happy about that very first fight. Now the tempo in control, as you can see by the live cam view, Sanford taking the brunt of that damage. Unlock Cram from his lane. Yums, chill out for a moment. Once we get Beatrix in position, we will be able to clear out these waves and not interact with them. Wait.
Nice. Oh. Dodge away again. Jumps in. Phantom Execution. Dodge away from Oheb. Able to get the stun. Or the dash is here. Zaman Force coming in as well. Skies with the Thorn Rose. Unable to get it in time. But the sustain comes through. Sanji walks up. And it's Oheb who picks up the kill. Stolen Tsunami Slam. Over to Yums. The turret lands a shot. But he gets away. Oh my goodness gracious. Stop this man, someone!
Okay, Innocent, he's still making plays of his own, but this time JP's like, no, Oheb already tried to die for our sins, and he already outplayed the bot side gank. Now, he lifts his hands up saying, not this time, I'll protect you. Now, Team Liquid have pulled this back. Despite the score being 2-4, Selangor Red Giants have a minor lead. It equals out on both sides, but let's look at where the advantages actually are. With all these fast rotations that we've been seeing from Cram's side, he did lose out on a little bit of EXP, which is why you're seeing Sanford at full level and more on his side on Lapu Lapu. He's also helping to pick up that mid-wave to allow Sanji to alleviate his pains. Now, Yoms, wait, hold on. That's a genius one purchase coming in from Stormy's side. They want to snowball this game out of control off of this next fight.
Both junglers are level 7. Innocent walking up to the mid lane already. Carl TZ holding on to the bush. Gotta be careful. Walks over the damage again. Yum's gonna be caught under. This is gonna be the red tree from Skies. AOG with JP walking to the back. Sanford jab solo. Still doing damage. Will fall in the end. No, he actually survives for a bit longer. As Stormy walks up, gets Captain Feather airstrike over from Sanji, but he gets away in time. Turtle for Yoms and Sanford.
Not too bad for SRG, but it worked out. Team Liquid, they walk in, they get the turtle of their own. Where else can they find the punishment, right? They're looking for invade options, but I don't think that Carl TZ is comfortable enough to walk in just yet, knowing that Innocent is nearby. But so many resources have been already utilized. Now that they've spotted Sakai's down on the bot side, should this be a green light for Team Liquid to try and extend Carl's lead, to try and get something over Sakai's?
Could be, but it's just...
Yums is saying no. He's like, nah. He's checking it every single time. Don't invade. Don't try. This is our territory.
It's very, very difficult for Carl to invade here up against a landslide. And again, this is the reason why, yes, Yi Sun-shin is really good in the meta, but just in the third place match, we've been seeing how Lancelot could take over games. Cram with the glorious pathway against Sanford! Jumps with the bravest fighter over to Stormy! Tsunami slam there, but it's not going to impact anything. Sanford gets a stun too, and that's a capitalization from Oheb into Cram now. It's Skies the puncture. Carl looking for the shot. Skies with the puncture one more time. Terrified in! Sanji gets away, gets the help of the revitalize. Oheb with the chase. Can he get the last shot onto Skies? He gets a turtle buff again. There's a few more minions. He buys some time.
He's gonna go down. Skies knows he's dead for sure. He's got no more mana to puncture or even Thorn Rose. And you can see that the TL fans are happy to see this happen. Now, 1.7k lead for the side of Team Liquid. They've evened up the score and even found a lead of their own against SRGOG Esports. What a fight to turn things around. Now, majority of this gold is leading in to both Carl TZ as well as Oheb, but that fight was won by Sanford and JP's combination. Great synergy, knowing Innocent, hey, you get hit by any CC, it's over for you.
Dude, I thought when Innocent got 3 kills at the start, it was over, but it just goes to show you how good Liquid are at recovering. That's Sanford who gets caught. He still had the flicker, has the bravest fighter, saves it. Good damage with the Demiru's passion over to Oheb, who's going to be at half. That's a big feather. Airstrike not landing at all.
Do they want to actually go for this? It looks like they're going to try. Sanford, he's already in.
Doing a bit of damage. Taunt over to Skies as well. That's a stun. Dodged away from again. Sanford caught in the midst of it all. That's a Render's apathy landing on JP. AOG cancelled out of Skies. Jumps over to Thorn Rose. Oheb with Zaman for still jumping back and forth. Another shot from Carl. Red tree battle on the turtle. Yo's jumps in, but won't be able to find the range. Sanji kiting away now. It's a red tree. Carl TZ secures the turtle.
Crazy. 3v4, and Carl TZ making it known he's not going to lose another retribution battle against the rising star of Skies. War Axe already purchased by Carl TZ, and that's great for him because now he's got true damage in his kit, and he's going to be able to sustain in his own jungle, even if he takes a bad trade against SRG. Oh, whoa, whoa!
Zaman force there. Skies luckily able to escape, but it will be a turret down below, and they're looking for more. Sanji has it. Innocent forced to flicker out. Sanji with a Tsunami Slam can use it. JP gets caught. Feathered airstrike one more time on him. He's a bit too tanky.
Too tanky for now. All right, for now. There will be a time where JP is going to take more damage, but that Revitalize saves him so much. The execution was good from the side of SRG OG, but now that they don't have much of a lead, and technically they're playing on the back foot, Team Liquid are more than confident to make these plays. Yeah, sure, take JP. Of all people, as long as you're not taking Sanji, as long as you're not taking Oheb, we can make this work. And don't worry about Carl TZ. He hasn't missed the trace list just yet.
It's been on point. Oheb too. Man, again, he had to lane against a 3-0 Innocent. Has been doing it really well up against a matchup that is still very skill reliant before level 4, right? So Innocent had a lot of that advantage, but now I would want to see the items again to see if Oheb is going for the Starlium build or the Enchanted Talisman build.
He's going for Starlium, if I remember
Starlium, all right. And
Yes.
it's very close to a Holy Crystal. That is going to be the massive power spike for Team Liquid to take control in these team fights.
If we're talking about punishes in terms of the item build, Team Liquid, they're aware that SRG OG, especially for Stormy going for that Genius Wand, it's like, oh wow, it's huge if you have the lead. And now that they've taken that lead back, yeah, that Genius Wand can do only so much.
Purify out of Tsunami Slam. That's a Tsunami Slam over the skies as well. As Amon fortunately popped in, as JP holds the back line with the help of Sanford with the Raven Spider. But still, oh, Sanford gets a stun again! And it finds Innocent in the back line. He's still alive. Sanji walks up again, might be overzealous. Now gets all of them, pops into Purify, and gets taken out by the Thorn Rose. Sanford, look for the kill. Oheb still on the purple buff, gets it away as Yomes disengages, and it ends up being 2 for 2. But Sanford wants to go with the Raven Spider one more time. Over to Yomes. Oheb has them on force, and they get Yomes.
10-10, 3.3k lead, and an important fight for TLPH to now take the Lord convincingly. Sanford has been so monumental for this squad. The Sansan duo still connected as ever. As SRG OG, they cannot have these extended fights against a team like this. 2 bravest fighters were used in that fight. 2 of them.
Goes to show you how balanced the cooldown is on that hero. I mean, hey, it is also Sanford, signature pick from when we saw him at M4. He did wonders with that pick, and he is doing it here too. It really just seems like the KDA isn't doing it justice, right? 3-4-3. He's not invincible on this pick. SRG have been able to punish it a lot of times, but they have to be very careful once those flickers have been spent. Stormy and Innocent are so vulnerable when they don't have those flickers, and it just makes it so hard for SRG to play the front to back that they want to.
That's why we keep reiterating that tempo is so important, especially with like these high execution style of compositions. You're playing a pickoff composition. You start falling behind, Team Liquid can just force resources out of you, and it always feels like you're playing on the back foot. These leads are so big in terms of their 2, maybe even 4k swings, but look at them just zoning them out, right? Come on, throw something at this. Team Liquid is asking SRG to do something about them.
Yomes try to go up, and it will be the Holy Shield in the mid lane taken. Team Liquid, 6,000 gold lead. The scoreboard isn't looking as, crazy as it was in game number 1. It was SRG dominating. Here it's 10-10, but still, the gold lead all for Team Liquid. Take a look at Oheb now. He's building towards, I believe, a Divine Glaive. He's almost 2,000 gold ahead of Innocent. Again, something to remember is the fact that Innocent went for Weapon Mastery. So once he gets these big items, it will be a massive power spike.
I mean, the Blade of Despair is already pretty huge for him, which is why you're seeing him, try and get some really important damage. But just notice the item builds on the opposite end, right? We're seeing Blade Armors come on through. No Malefic Roar just yet. A Malefic Gun? Sure, but you got to walk into our range. And that's something that Innocent doesn't really want to do just yet. Worst yet, Carl Teasy's damage is through the roof. 3 items complete and a Winds of Nature. I'm expecting him to get a little more snowbally. He's running the killing spree, right? So if he reduces SRG's health down to at least 50%, he might be able to start chaining kills one after the other.
Massive lead for a whole lot for Team Liquid. Again, those are some big power spikes that we were just talking about. What was going to be built up? See Halberd, Divine Glaive. Now what for Oheb? Does he go for CE? Does he go for Immortality, maybe Winter Crown to just survive the burst that's going to be coming through from Innocent and Stormy is the big question. Because JP, he knows he's taken a lot of damage. He would much rather have the Immortality so that he can be back up when he gets taken out. Which is, by the way, the main win condition of Selangor Red Giant. Sanford with the Bravest Fighter walking up again. It's going to be the AOG coming through. Flicker in for Sanford. Goes for the stun. Finds Stormy in the back line. Forces the Flicker out. And now it's a collapse for Oheb. Sanji in the back. Liver to splash again. Tsunami Slam to bring Cram to give Oheb a mega kill.
Big plays being made by the side of Team Liquid ID, but their timings are immaculate. They're forcing these fights against SRG, knowing that they can get something out of them. As long as they don't trade 1-for-1, this is going to be an absolutely free Lord in their hands. 13 minutes into the game, Team Liquid are making a statement to SRG. Game 1, that's just a one-off thing.
They're going to time it too. They don't want to take it right now. They know they need to take it after 40, I guess?
40.
Yeah, so they want to play with the next wave, not this one. They want to have time to build up those big waves because they know how good the wave clear is for Selangor Red Giants OG Esports.
And it's especially dangerous, right? Because if Team Liquid want to siege against SRG, JP has to commit the AOG. And that's not something that they want to do. They want SRG to launch feathered airstrikes, to use the Tsunami Slam first so that Sanford and JP have an easier time to pinpoint the locations of the backline and where that battle is going to flow. Sanji, I think, probably has to take the brunt of the damage, right? He can't really get into these fights just yet, and I think stealing away Stormy's ult has been a big problem. When he does get it, it's a heavy win for Team Liquid. When he doesn't have it, he's just chilling, waiting. Maybe Cram runs a little too far forward and he can slow that peel down. If he can terrify Sakai's, it's already a big win.
Gideon, they know the timers. They know Stormy and Innocent won't have the flicker ready by the time the Lord comes into base, so they're looking for the punish. Sanford with the Brave Spider over to Skies in a 1v1 situation. Good Thorn Rose. Oh, a battle here in the mid lane as well as the Lord is able to charge down to get the turret, but Skies is so far away, but he's baited into time. He's already distracted Team Liquid. They couldn't punish Stormy and Innocent without the flicker, but they will find Skies. It'll be delayed. Skies is doing a good job at just buying time. Red Tree coming in, and the Phantom execution too. But it is inevitable. Last shot. We get a display of those clean punctures before it happens. AOG! Flicker up, and it's down again.
So good. So very, very good. That's why, when we're talking about the Emperor's Eye, we're talking about just a full view of the map. You would imagine that with those phones that they can only see so much, but Team Liquid, they see everything on the map, and the same goes for SRG. These punishes are huge because now that somebody doesn't have that flicker, no huge plays are going to be made. Here we go.
Sanford again with the Brave Spider, wants to go for it, but a Tsunami Slam locks him down, and JP goes over to taunt Sanford with the flicker backwards again. Turret dealt with already as Carl shoots out the Mountain Shocker, but it doesn't land on anyone. Ooh, that damage! The horse is down, and no, I'm not talking Liquid. I'm talking Cram on the Hylos.
Oh, Cram, he's not having much of a game right now. And Team Liquid are having the time of their life. 13-10, 11K goal lead. Most would say that this is, or what I would like to call it, the checkmate angle. However, SRG will hit 42K of their own, but Team Liquid have so many more resources, so many more options when it comes down to the fight. They can start swapping out their immortalities mid-fight if necessary. Winter Crowns might even come into play, but for the time being, it just looks like they just need SRG to make that first move. Ooh, Sanji going to be completing the Winter Crown first. There's a chance he might make a play of his own.
I think it's just for survivability, right? He's been placed in very tough situations. This Valentina has really just been mostly utility than it is damage. Yes, he is doing damage, but for the most part, you see the glorious pathway. You see the Tsunami Slam. It's not much of the feathered airstrike being stolen over by from Liquid, and I think it's for a good reason too. They know they have enough damage. They just need to peel and give space for Oheb and Carl TZ to dish out that damage. So now it's the Lord Dance. Bottom wave, good for Liquid.
Here's the conceal. They're gonna try. Cram takes it first.
There you go. That's a damage. Cram should be falling here. Goes over the sun as Skies walks up to Cram. Actually survived with the glorious pathway. 1v1. The GOAT goes in and wins it out against the Prince. This will be free. SRG are running back to base.
He got hit by the turtle boat. The guy's unable to outplay it. Carl DZ, he's probably laughing to himself. He's like, come on. Lancelot, I'm the Lancelot guy. I am the guy. I have a skin after me, sir. Please show me some respect. You can't 1v1.
Sanford, you're pretty good. Very good. Tsunami Slam coming down. Oheb. Zaman forwards. Carl TZ Majaya. Oh, wow. That's actually a full dive over. Traceless to get away. Oheb still doing a bit too much damage. Jones will lose his immortality too. Carl handling the mini waves. That's 2 members down. Skies will be back up in 1. Innocent holding it down, but without Sanford, can they still look for the siege?
They could try. Innocent still has ults to work with. Oh, they've got Feather Airstrike, but they need a stall.
JP taking a very low penetration. Oh, clips him. Innocent in the back trying to cut away. Oheb gets it, and with the godlike, Sanji freezes up, pops the Winter Crown, and the answer is yes, they can.
Woo! The Liquid Stampede is already gearing up. They're looking for that momentum on their side. The gallop has begun. Let's see if it turns into the full run. Holy, that was a good game.
Oh my gosh. Hey, the Liquid fans in the building are brutal with him, man. They've just been emoting all around. You can see them here.
Wait,
and if you guys, what's that?
Does that guy have an NXPE?
He does. Hey, shout outs to Midnight. He was NXPE.
He was. This has been a fun game so far. And I mean, both sides have really shown their true colors in terms of, hey, you give us control over this game, you give us a little bit of lead, we're going to be running away with it.
Oh, man. It's just crazy to see the early game pan out the way it did. You know, we expected Turtle 1 to be massive, but maybe not that crazy. Innocent getting 2, 3 early kills was ridiculous, but then the recovery. We talk so much about the Stampede that we forget how clean they can be even when they're behind.
I mean, their fights have been looking a lot better this time, and I think this draft definitely allowed Sanford to have a much better time. I mean, let's not forget, the one thing that I was a little concerned for is Innocent's item build. He decided to go for the Halberd as a third item. I was thinking maybe a Haas Claw might have kept him alive in a lot of these fights, considering that Sanford was like gunning out. He was looking to line up both Farsa alongside with Beatrix in one line so he could knock him down like bowling pins.
Yeah, so we're going to throw it over back to Mr. Lefelion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Merkoyan. It looks like without the Akai as well as the CC, Sanford can finally be comfortable in its own shoes because he had a performance of a lifetime. And I agree with the casters. Like, the KDA doesn't really do justice on the things that he did on the game just now.
Yeah, I can't help but agree, and I love the point that you made that it just felt like Carl Tizzi could do whatever he wanted in so many of those fights, and even though it didn't seem as flashy as you would normally see on a YSS, it was still overall very dominant in that game.
Yeah, I mean, even the timings, after he does make use of the bravest fighter, I think that's another thing too, because typically when someone goes in, you find an immediate punish through the Tsunami Slam, but the Lapu Lapu does not seem to be the best target to do that, and he gets to immune himself right after, land the Land Shakers with such well timings and precision towards the Farsa. Often it happened towards the Farsa against Stormy.
I kind of feel like we got to go back to what Kid Bomba has been saying throughout the draft. He feels like Yusunshin is too strong, you got to ban that out, and he really does not like that high loss going up against the Lapu Lapu. But to be fair, it looks like this was all planned because, again, you waited for Red 4 to get Cram's hero, and at that point, there's really no other options. They pick up the high lows. They themselves ban out the Ruby, so even that option was not there. So, I don't know. Trex, looks like first pick blue side is still superior.
Definitely still superior blue side, just overall, I think from today to yesterday, it feels like the favored side. But TLPH just was able to control that draft so well.
And you know what? Coming back to us, now we have a series. We say thank you to Kid Bomba, but now welcome back, Mr. Leoman. How did you feel watching the second game?
I had so much fun not just watching the game, but also leading up to it. My patron, my avatar, Kid Bomba, did so well. Again, repping the Bombanatics from Manila to Riyadh. He spoke of how these picks determine what these two teams are capable of doing. And watching game one, watching game two, I think there's one thing that SRGOG kind of leaned hard on despite some factors changing around the draft, and that's range. You look at their game 2 draft, and they committed so much to range. They got the Farsa, they got the Beatrix. But after that, what do they have? They were forced to play passive in the XP lane, and that changed the dynamic of effective range. Because once you got in your face, once 40 got there, and once JP jumped the gun, and once Ohib is in your face, what do? What now? And that's what made game 2 so winnable for Liquid.
Yeah, honestly, it was an amazing game. Looking at both strengths, Liquid showed their strength, SRGOG showed their strength. By the way, while we're here, I just want to say, I think we're all in agreement. We love Kid Bomba as a player. But in case he wants to retire, I kind of feel like being on the panel, it's kind of good for Bomba.
He looks great. We got a seat ready and warm for you whenever you want it, Bomba. Several. Any region, just pick.
Just say so.
Imagine the entire idea about the Lapu flex.
Yeah. And honestly, I kind of feel like there's a lot to digest, even for us panel. So we're actually going over to the stage where I heard we're giving something away. So you know what, stage, I hope you're ready because we're throwing it over to you.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Amazon Arena. Now, what a series it has been so far. It is currently 1-1. It is very hot and everybody here can feel the intensity of the matches. But because everybody's so intense right now, we went around asking the audience if they want skins. Do you guys want skins? And because of that, we actually have 3 lucky audience with me here today for the Metro Zero skin giveaway. However, before that, I want you guys to take a moment to look at our beautiful cosplayer. Hey, so what hero are you cosplaying today?
Hello everyone, and I'm cosplaying Ixia and her Commander Invoker skin.
Ooh, very nice. I'm pretty sure everybody thinks it's very pretty and you look so pretty today.
Thank you so much, Rose. Hello sa mga Pilipino dyan! Let's go!
As we can see, our cosplayer is rooting for Team Liquid. However, over here we have our 3 lucky audiences. Hello, what's your name?
Marte Cometa.
What should I call you?
Teng.
Teng. Okay, so are you ready for your first question?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. I will give you 4 options and you pick one, okay? Which of the following heroes is featured in the Metro Zero campaign? Is it A, Beatrix, B, X-Borg, C, Ling, or D, Martis?
X-Borg.
Are you gonna lock it in?
Locked in.
It is correct! Congratulations, Kuya!
That's pretty good. You know, we got apparently 2 Liquid fans and SRG fan here, so, you know, things go as they do. But I have a question for you. First of all, what is your name?
My name is Alejandro.
Alejandro. Well, let's see if you can wow us today, Alejandro. Our question is, the Metro Zero set is set on which mode of transportation? 4 options. A, airplane, bus, train, or spaceship?
It's a train.
Oh, and it is correct! There you go. A second win with us here. There's still one more key.
Yes. For our final audience, we have over there, he is wearing an SRG OG jersey. Hello! Hi, what's your name?
My name is Silas.
Okay, Malaysian.
Yep, Malaysian.
Hello, Abang, how are you?
Good, Alhamdulillah.
All right, Abang is very, very good. So, Abang, your question is, which of the following heroes is featured in the Metro Zero campaign? Is it A, Cho, B, Kimmy, C, CC, or D, Roger?
Roger.
Is it correct? It is correct! Congratulations! Now all 3 of them will be walking home with a Metro Zero skin.
That's a cool time. That's a fun time. All 3 people got their skins. We have wonderful cosplay on here. And our grand final, best of 7, is tied 1-1. Riyadh, are you ready for more? I can't hear you. I'm sure you can get louder. Are you ready for more? Then let's send it back to our panel.
Thank you very much. We're ready for more. And now we already have 2 games, a maximum of 5 more. And here's the thing. We're going to be jumping into draft very, very soon here. So again, we have to assume that SRGOG will be picking up blue side again. Now the question is, will we see an adjustment? Because in game number 1, CLPH, they banned out the Kalia. Will they change that out with banning out the CC?
I think there's definitely the possibility. I don't think they let the CC through again, at least first pick for SRG. If they do, then they might not pick up Fredrin. I don't know. I think we're going to see a lot of different ways this draft's approached because for the first time in the meta, it's so open that you can take so many different avenues.
The question is, if they do open the CC, because since the meta's so open, you might as well find solutions rather than avoid the problem entirely. Does Sanford have a Paquito in this current metagame? Can he do that, or are they willing to roll the dice and say, do Lapu, wait till level 4, then get out of there?
Yeah, because even Onic, even teams yesterday, they've been trying to pull off the entire Paquito into the CC matchup because it does do well. And even Kid Bomba, like, behind while the game was going on. We did ask that to him too, and he did say that Paquito, is such a good pick against the CC, but it hasn't been as effective yet in terms of converting it into wins.
I don't know. Personally, for me, I tried to punch a yo-yo before. I lost. What about you, Trex? What's your thoughts on this?
I think we might be heading too far into the CC. I don't think that was the only problem completely in game one. Like I said, I think the Akai, the Grok, Carl TZ had no play in those turtle pits.
By the way, right now, looks like we have a quote coming in from Innocent. It's hard to defend your title because every patch favors a different team. Even throughout the tournament, the meta changes. During the group stage, it was about team fights, and it was about tank junglers in the knockouts. So we're lucky to make it to the grand finals again, which shows even in a span of 2 to 3 weeks, with nothing really changed in terms of patches, the meta can shift.
Even in 48 hours, the Innocent Beast could have added one more line to that, and now in the grand finals, in the last day, it's about the EXP lane, because that alone might be what dictates the team that gets the win in game 3. I would like to think if that's solved, the next problem is indeed, we were on the way to this anyways, the jungle, because the Akai is so good against the Fredrin. If the US engine is not open and Carl TZ defaults to the Fredrin, do they ban the Akai? Is there room in the draft to do that?
I mean, teams, or at least based on what we've seen, don't necessarily bring out the Akai in the first phase. I think it happens once. Yeah, it did happen once.
In game one,
it
happened.
I feel like SRG is the only one that picks it early. Yeah.
So SRG is a team who might be confident enough to introduce this entire idea of the Akai countering the Fredrin whenever they do like. So yeah, it's going to be tough for Team Liquid if they want to stick with the entire Fredrin jungler for Carl TZ.
What if from Red, they ban everything and only allow the Fredrin for SRG and do Red 3 Akai? Because Carl TZ plays a mean Akai, we know that.
Yeah, we'll see. Because personally for me, I'm actually in a different angle. I agree with what you're saying, but instead of the Akai fighting against the Fredrin, I kind of feel like it's fighting Sanford. I feel like that's the one that we're really looking at here. SRGOG betting out the Arlet, and now TLPH betting out the 1-1. Looks like the Lancelot getting banned still. So at least for SRGOG, they want to go back to what worked.
It is quite crazy how we're in a meta right now where you have to literally think about multiple lanes and how you're going to counter them. From mid with the Far versus Yushin, with the CC and EXP, with the Kai Fredrin. I mean, all around the board, these teams and coaches have to think multiple steps ahead for this.
I like it because this shows that this is indeed the best of the best.
Yep. The Lapu will be banned out too by SRG.
Talk about EXP dominance.
So much adjustments in the draft. So this just means that the YSS will be open for SRG.
Not just even the Kalia, even the Farsa, the Fredrin, Akai, Baksha. Like these heroes are all out in the wild now, and Liquid denies it. Coach RC wagging the finger. No can do. Coach Arc, so they do get at least that comfort on Yumes.
So do we think we see the Basha pick up from TLPH +1? Kalea's the comfort pick. With Lapu already gone, what's next on the prowl list for EXP? Honestly, CC Lapu gone, I feel like it's a much more open pool now, a safer pool at that.
Yeah.
At this point, we might even see a Terizla.
I mean, the Phobius has been one of the considerations too previously, but it hasn't been that high in priority considered the other XP laners which came into play recently. So now they just go with the Baksha and Jusin.
I would like for this Baksha to be flex. We know that it's most likely going to be in the jungle, but I like Red 3 as that stopper for Sikais. Because, again, the Akai is such a game changer. If they go and leave Red 3 here and don't attack the rest of SRG's first 3, then I think they're missing out.
I don't know. I think they could just pick up the Akai maybe again. I think it can also do okay against the Basha. Heavy spin, dominate in the turtle pit, put a Farza behind it right here. I think overall solid. You get the counterplay against Zushin. I think it's comfortable.
I think you might even consider an early glue perhaps, because that is one of his signatures. But it looks like they go for the Joy as well as the Farsa here. So SRGOG, they still want to go for that assassin.
Yeah, I like the idea simply because it helps the Kalea be able to perform a bit more. The Joy can be the one to potentially dive in first, force out the Purifies, especially from key targets like the Dushin. I mean, that's the only one revealed for now for Team Liquid. And then the Kalea would feel a bit more encouraged to land those skills, those crowd controls.
So last pick on the side of TLPH. They got a jungler in, possible flex to roam, mid laner. Do they lock in gold lane here to at least have advantage there? The Granger's been getting tossed to the side, but I still think it's very solid.
I can feel like Moskov is a consideration.
Against the Joy, yeah.
Unless they're planning for another Harith. So they save their gold laner for later and pick up a Hayabusa.
Oh, such a great counter, the Joy.
Don't need to rush the gold laner, because again, you're in red 4. You get red 4 immediately after the bans.
So now it looks like it is going to be Assassin going up against Assassin. Again, this is two teams that really like to rush the tempo here. So, Trex, looking at the composition, what is Team Liquid missing at this point?
I think I'm still the Hayabusa pick was so clean, man. I think SRG either didn't expect it, they pick up the Joy, and maybe the Joy was too early. At this point, TLPH just has such an advantage, I think, coming into second phase.
In the first phase alone, Liquid are playing off of the axis of effective range once more. Sure, you have a Farsa, you have the Wombo combo with the Kalea, but what do you do when Liquid is in your face? Like, that's the thing that Liquid is missing right now. They need a hero on Sanford that punishes that short gap, that within your face kind of range that SRG just haven't found the answer to just yet.
So if it's just in terms of that, then the likes of the Glue, as mentioned previously, are also still open.
Yep, Glue and Harriet, like, these are the two heroes that I think SRG should take out.
Yeah. So that's going to be a problem for Team Liquid if both of them are banned out. But even for Cram, I feel, because they're slowly running out of XP lane options.
Cram still has a Ruby, by the way. It's still out and untouched. Now the question, what if that's the only thing left and at Red 4 suddenly, Sanford steals it? We haven't really seen much crazy picks from Liquid, save for the Alpha and the Hylos yesterday. But what if here they start to do that in pursuit of the trophy?
If they steal the Ruby here, it's a very clean pickup.
Yeah,
because honestly, the pick would work for either side in multiple positions.
Right.
I like it. I think if SRG gets it, it's a saving grace possibly for themselves. Badang ban on the blue side, finally on to red 4.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's a pretty good ban as well, because you don't want that disruption going for SRG OG. So now Team Liquid, this box is still a question mark. If they want to keep it flexible, they can choose their gold laner here, but again, that's going to expose them to SRG OG. So instead, they're going to take away that glue instantly. And again, this is a good pick for them, but also a very good deny.
Yeah, and the Ruby still looks like a good option. Like, especially in terms of just sustaining yourself overall, considering that the glue can split up into a lot of mini glues.
But the beauty of this is when SRG picks the Ruby, if they do pick the Ruby, Liquid has last dibs. Oheb can protect himself. He can pick a hero that doesn't care about said Ruby in Cram's hands.
I mean, I think at this point, SRG, you do something like the Ruby. Hilda got banned out, so that's not there. The guitar? No. Yeah, I mean, Ruby Granger, I think you pick up the Granger maybe here for a little bit of range and just try to play it safe to stay out of the range of the Lantern and the Hayabusa.
Not unless it's Innocent who wants to play it. So we hear they pick up the Phoveus instead and the Granger. Okay, we're going back to the Phoveus for SRG. I feel like it's still going to be a decent matchup going up against the Glue.
I would still say it's a bit glue favorite here, but now seeing the Granger, Moskov, Iritel, basically everything except Harv is open now.
The world is Oheb's oyster. SRG played on the defense while in blue. That, I think, is the genius of this draft. Liquid have found that hero that lives in your face, rent-free. It's that glue. Now they can pick any of these heroes. I don't think they need to really go out of the box.
If they want a bit more dive, the backline, the Claude's there. Although they have to really consider the Joy and a Purify hero. So they go for the Moskov, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, Moskov is a good pick going up against this Granger as well as the Joy. So Trex, final thoughts looking at the draft here.
I think that Hayabusa pick completely threw a wrench in SRG's plans, and at this point, TLPH definitely from macro to team fight control. I like the draft.
Well, thank you very much, panel. You guys have been amazing. And now we're about to start game number 3 in this grand final. So we're going to throw it over back to Gideon and Mirko.
Thanks, panel. 1-1, the current score between SRG and TLPH. Nobody has broken the curse of red side just yet as blue side reigns supreme. We go into match number 3 hoping something will change. If not, it might just be another blue side victory. Welcome, everybody. The grand finals continues here today at Mid-Season Cup 2025 at the Esports World Cup live in Riyadh is showing us everything we've wanted so far. Let's bring it back. It's going to be SRG on the blue side facing off against Team Liquid on the red for anybody just tuning in. Let the battle begin. Sakai's starting on his orange, Carl Teasy on his purple.
Yeah, you can really see both teams starting to respect each other in the drafts here, coming together and really just forming a composition that definitely we wouldn't see in like game 1. Right? Like they're letting go of a lot more picks, they are opening up so much more, but they're also denying so much more that we've seen in game 1, game 2. So at this point, yeah, I agree with Blofeld. I really like the glue into the Phoveus. Thing is though, all Phoveus needs to do is just win out the early game and set SRG up for a good early games to just weather the storm. Because, like, again, TL want to snowball with this composition with the Hayabusa, Juice. Everyone on their composition really wants to just snowball and take control over after Turtle 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're seeing a lot of that struggle come down from the EXP side. Like, Cram, if you look at the emblems, he's decided to take Concussive Blast because he doesn't want to interact with Sanford, right? And Sanford, he's like, okay, sure, you clear decently fast, but I'm going to try and freeze underneath my lane, and I'm also calling JP to my side of the map just to make sure that if you are going to hit level 4 in time, there's going to be a brass tax on your HP. He's hoping to chunk him out at least 50% of it.
Okay, taking a look at the emblems here. Nothing too crazy. Tenacity, Vitality for Sanford, so he wants to be very, very tanky. Just knowing that this has been a pattern. When you're on the glue 2, you're very vulnerable. You have to go for the flicker, and Kaleas usually punish that very early. So having a little bit more sustain will be great, and Team Liquid are already en route to that first turtle. Pryo over for Sanford, Pryo for Sanji in the mid lane too.
Oh, let's keep in mind, Stormy also took the Wilderness Blessing on his side. He's not going for the tenacity, he's not going for pull yourself together, right? It's all about rotating fast across the map as soon as possible. First turtle, now contested.
Yeah, Sanford putting the stacks down on Yums and Cram. It's fully loaded on Cram. He will lose it now on Yums. Puts the stacks down. And Carl is still taking it slow. Meanwhile, Sky's over there. That's going to be the jump forward. Sanford able to play again. Has it fully stacked up. Mount, and he will be able to go for it onto the Phoveus. All alone, has Dark Wave, able to go back and forth. So Oheb lands the SOD and comes into the fight. But Innocent does the same as he walks by. Crab still going in with the Infernal Pursuit. Sanford still in the midst of it all. Now Sanji picks up the kill, and that's the retry from Carl Teasy.
A long rotation. Oh. The shadows are close. The shadows are very, very close, but it's so clear. No, he's not going to kill him here, right? He's used the quad shadow. Sanji's nearby. Oh my god!
Skies just ran him down. Knew there was no quad shadow. Carl went a bit too ham, and he pays for it with his life.
I'm surprised that Sanji didn't immediately show himself. Even he was questioning like whether or not this was going to happen, but it's not over. Stormy gets picked off in the mid, and now they're finally trade back into JP.
It's not the best of trades, though. It's still great for Liquid, just because, again, Stormy was taken out. They only got the Roamer here. Roam for mid, Liquid still with Pryo, but SRG, they have the kill lead in this game. And Skies should have a bit more to say now, as he was able to take Carl TZ down. So more space to farm to get that lead for Turtle 2.
I think there is a bigger argument. It's time to rehash the Farsa ult, or are we going with the Jushin ult? Because right now this 2v2 is heavily in favor in Sanji's. All because Baxia is part of this equation. Oh, okay. All right. Gets the ult out. Okay, this time nothing too crazy. At least it's going to expectations. But I want to see whether or not Carl TZ is going to be able to develop a lead of his own, right? With that turtle on his hand, and also picking up an EXP Crab, good sacrifice coming in from Sanford's side, it allows that full level lead from Carl.
And now we're back to just setting up again the old game of just waiting for neutral objectives here. Crab is going for it again. Skies walks up, but there's no kill threat here. At least there shouldn't be. Sanford can just walk away with the longs back to turret.
It's just big chunks, looking for anybody to make a mistake in lane, and there we go. I mean, SOD as well as JP, the fact that they're pressuring so much. Wait, did they spot Stormy out?
They just really want to deny that. Oheb blinks away. JP popped the Revitalize, and Innocent is able to get his hands on the cannon minion. Now it's the invade down below as they've seen a lot of those members from SRG rotate up top. Turtle.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Stormy was willing to sacrifice his mid wave for this. Oh, okay.
Cram's out of the fight.
He's done for us.
Walks up. Sanji still has Crimson Beacon. Will decide to pop it in now. Skies gonna get away. Oh, Sanford with the lockdown of the Flicker already. Now pops a long Tsunami Slam with the Shadow Kill coming down too. And it will be the backline targeted down. Skies still able to survive. Good peel from Cram as Innocent goes for the shots. One last one with that Sonata finding it there. Sanji unable to get the kill back. And it is Innocent with a double.
Look at the instant response. They knew TLPH understood. Hey, it's too late for us. Innocent's already here. You're not going to be able to run away. They quickly steal over that purple buff to enable Carl TZ to maybe snowball out of control for the next fight, while Oheb helps him out and even gets a free push on top side. So take the turtle, take a couple of our members. We're not falling too far behind.
But now it's getting real dangerous for TL. Innocent has secured Skypiercer. We know what he's done in the past when he gets a Skypiercer early. Oheb walks up, stunned up, Purify comes down! He dodges away from the Feathered Airstrike, but he can't from the Death Sonata. It's JP brought back by the Dark Wave! Just as I mentioned it, it's 2 on the Skypiercer! Make it 3! It's Sanford who buys a little bit more time. What? Maniac as well! Oh my lord, Innocent!
Tell me that this man can do no wrong. It's in his name! Maniac this time! Oh, wait, hold on. Carl's trying, though. He clears the wave with the help of the SOD as well. Oheb is able to recover a little. Luckily, nobody dies just yet. Oh, I was ready to eat my words. I was ready for Cram to go down just randomly.
Oh, my lord. Oheb, yeah. Way too aggressive. The snipe from Innocent. And then what happened next? It was JP all alone, but the rest of the team wanted to follow up. They knew Oheb was down, but they just wanted to stick together, and it ended up being so brutal, dude. I mean, the timing could not have been more perfect for me to say, hey, Skypiercer are Innocent, and then that Yums goes in, Tsunami Slam, not gonna go down, and it's another for Stormy this time, not Innocent, who picks up his 5th stack now. It's Stormy.
Okay, it's Stormy. It's 11-3. Okay, we're getting a little bit of game 1 here, but the gold lead, again, the gold lead doesn't seem to be like slipping away from Team Liquid. It's 1.8k. It's not that big of a deal. We've seen them turn this around. We need to see if SRG can close out the game and maintain this lead. I think a lot of that really depends on whether or not Yums gets his fleeting time at an early pace, because once he does, that engine is ready to go. All it just needs is gasoline.
Thing is, Innocent is massive right now.
He's 6-0-2.
6-0-2. 4 kills on the Skypiercer, you gotta remember. So he's at 40 stacks here at the 7th-minute mark. And it's going to be tough because TL kind of want to prolong the fights. But how can you prolong the fights when Innocent always has an execute threat ready? Like, you get low enough and you just have to back away.
You just have to back away. He's also got the Malefic Roar as well, so JP's got to be careful.
JP pops a shield unity. Dark Wave landing. Skies now looking for the stacks again. Able to get full stacks on the electrifying beats. SOD landing too. But it will be a turnover. Sanford already in there. Carl winning the retreat battle. But Tsunami Slam locks him down. But he still has the quad shadow back. Innocent unable to get the executes down as Cram walks it forward. It's what? Cancelled by Oheb. Shadow kill is Sanford with a jump in the back from out of nowhere. And the game is turned on its head.
Woo! What did I tell you? Nothing to worry about. Kill score in favor of SRG. There's not enough gold in the bank to turn it around. Sanford, what a play. 2 for 2. His flickers have been immaculate. As you see, TL slowly cover the map and turn it red. Let's look at this fight one more time, right? Because everything looked like it was going well. They even found Tsunami Slam on the correct target, which was called TZ. However, when you're clumped up this much, and especially since Innocent was looking for an angle with no energy whatsoever, Carl TZ does amazing here by baiting himself, absorbing the shots, and then going in quickly with his Oki shadow kill. Sanford saw the angle, and it was perfect.
That was... oh my lord. What a flank. I mean, he literally saved the fight. That was looking real bad for Liquid. It was looking like Innocent was about to get 4 more stacks, you know. Everybody was so low. They were within the threshold of getting executed. But now, they've recovered again. Liquid out of nowhere from sheer team fighting mechanics have gotten themselves back into okay zone. Yes, there's still a lead on Innocent, but the 40 stacks is now, it's down. I don't know how much he's standing on now, but it's not, again, that snowball number that you were expecting.
Yeah, I think he should be down to at least 15 to 20 stacks at this point.
There you go.
28. 28. Perfect. Now, looking at where the gold leads are actually being developed, Cartesi and as well as Oheb already has his third item. He's finished that Trinity build, right? He is so prepared for these upcoming fights. And with that reset on Innocent, he's less scared to get involved in these fights. Obviously, he's going to come in last, of course, but that's not the only thing you should be worried about. Cartesi having a solid 2-level lead over Sakai's. These neutral fights are not easy anymore. And the worst part is, like, you don't know where Carl is half the time. He comes into the fights super late.
And he's not even the executor here. He's like, yes, he's an assassin, but for the most part in this game, he's just been dealing damage. It's Sanji, I think, who will be the guy to execute members. I believe he will go for the Sky Piercer, just like he has done in the past. And that's the winning angle for Team Liquid. If they can go, there you go, Sky Piercer already. I don't know if he's actually gotten any stacks on it or if he's still sitting at 0. But that's the winning condition. Again, if Team Liquid can dish out enough damage for Sanji to be doing what Innocent's doing, picking up those stacks and executing members, it now becomes tough for Selangor Red Giants OG Esports.
Yeah, I think the worst part is the fact that Sanford, he's already got 2 tank items. JP's going to open things up, though.
Cram walking up again, the Dark Wave not landing. JP in the back line is called. TC secures the neutral objective. That's a Tsunami Slam over to Sanford, but he's still able to flicker out. Now goes for the Meltdown, and Bracio's back to the team. It's so much damage, the piercing damage. Oheb still there. Skies doing all that he can, but Carl jumps in with the quad shadow, and he gets Innocent. Now it's just Stormy.
It's too clean, Team Liquid. It looks like they might just be able to break the red side curse. They're going to get one more into Stormy as well. Wings by wings. This and Carl just taking his time, playing with the food.
Holy Shield threw Oheb back. That could have been real bad if he was able to cut Stormy down. It's not an end angle just yet, but it's massive for Team Liquid. They get everything on the map. This tier 2 will surely fall to, yes, Oheb will get it. And now it opens up so much more space for a composition that was already deadly without all this tempo. Now with this tempo, brother, JP on the Hylos against Onyx, he came from the side to kill Sans. Now, he can come from any angle.
It's crazy. It's crazy how Team Liquid are playing these fights so perfectly. And I think the worst part is that Sanford is making it tough. I think a lot of this fight boiled down to whether or not Cram can get some effective abilities down. And I think that his positioning, more importantly, his tap on the Infernal Suit into the middle of the 4 of Team Liquid definitely cost its Selangor Red Giants the fight. He should have taken his time, and if he was looking to jump on somebody, it was probably Sanford first, which he didn't use his ult just yet at that point of time. He knows he's going to get pulled out of position. You might as well start peeling for that front line.
1,200 gold lead for Sanji. Up against Stormy, and Sky Piercer should already be... I don't think he got a single kill actually that fight. But still, they got proper shutdowns, kills over. Now Carl Teezy's a very, very good amount ahead of Skies. 2,000 gold lead already with the Endless Battle. And he's looking for his last item this game, which isn't going to be defensive.
Yep, he's very, very strong. If he catches anybody by themselves, he probably one-shot them without much of an issue. You can see that they're slowly opening up the map with JP. And I think that's the biggest problem right now for the side of SRG OG Esports, right? Coming for a flank angle is pretty tough overall. Ooh, the Shurikens did not connect to reveal Sakai's and cancel out his recall. But even so, JP and as well as Sanford are the 2 biggest problems that SRG are facing right now. Sanford, way more deadly, but also it just doesn't feel good to commit too hard onto JP.
Yeah. Oheb just farming up. It's very hard to commit on any of these members, like you said. Damage to ranking is all Selangor Red Giants OG Esports. It's Innocent, Cram, Stormy, and Skies before we see a single member from TLPH. Oheb? Oh, lands the SOD, goes for the Spear of Misery. Oh, didn't quite get the angle. But even when you're so far away, the fact that you're able to push in and put in the threat down and now utilize that to take purple buff is good for Liquid. Conceal. Sky's walking up over to JP. Oheb, no SOD, goes in, Spear of Misery as well. The Defender Airstrike coming down with the Revitalize is right there to provide the peel. And now, Liquid have an angle. Carl with the quad shadow, jumping in. Cram lifted up, thrown back to the ground now. It's asking the meltdown again. Sanji with the Crimson Beak and Sanford jumps into the back, finding them as Oheb tears them apart. Carl with the shadow kill. Oh, Innocent cancels it out. But in the end, it's still Sanford mounting him. He will find the kill. It's Cram against Oheb and JP. Now a Tsunami Slam over. Sanford,
oh my God,
it's ridiculous.
He's crazy. Oh my goodness, Sanford straddling them. It is over for game number 3. Red Side Curse broken wide open by Team Liquid. They are going to make sure that this is going to be one hard-fought battle of SRGOG Esports are even going to try and climb up this mountain.
What the hell, Sanford?
God.
Dude, like,
resets was that? 2 resets? 2 full resets?
Like, yeah, Oheb, amazing plays. He got the triple. But how the hell did Sanford just do all that, dude? They just facilitated everything.
They gave him glue, they gave him flicker, and that was the end of it. That's all he needed. Just the battle spell and glue's kit.
He turned the game around. He was able to get the 2 in the back. He's assassinated Innocent. We were expecting Hayabusa to be the man. Glue is the man.
Glue is the man. All right, we're going to be throwing it back to our panel to break it down for us. What do you guys think?
Is it too early to say if Team Liquid becomes a champion, Sanford should be the MVP? I mean, like, what a performance coming in from the EXP. I mean, like, to be fair, the entire series, it is all EXP, but Sanford clearly shows how strong he is on this picks.
In this game, the ecosystem, the food chain was very clear. The Apex Predator stands tall on top of everybody, and you stand in his way, you're automatically prey. The innocent beast in that last sequence here, you'll see it now, stood no chance. Like, well, he did kind of like he got away with that until he's like, oh no, I have stacks on me, and then 40 wasn't done.
Yeah, and I feel like for majority of, I mean, we did say the entire focus on EXP lanes, and we put so much emphasis on their performance, especially when they're especially when they're ahead. But in this case, the way Sanford played it was through plays that changed the way the game goes, and it favored their team suddenly just after those 1 or 2 plays that Sanford did, coming in from the back lines and just surprising them with the flickers.
I mean, even with the fact that SRG started strong that game, Innocent started strong that game. And TLPH, all it takes is one big play to flip the table. Like, I love what Gideon said, 2,000, 3,000 gold is not enough gold in the bank to topple TLPH in a game.
Either ways, right now, whenever you're thinking about a draft, you always have to think about that EXP matchup, because at this point, I feel like you're in the grand finals, you just have to be honest. Cram, can you deal with him? And if you can't, someone needs to help, because even Kid